There we go.
There we go. We in there. Bam.
All right.
Bam, bam, bam.
All right. So,
Ladies and gentlemen, hello.
hey, y'all. About to push record for the audio people. So, let's go.
All right.
Hello.
What's happening, brother?
Yo, we are back, man.
We are season premiere, season 2 officially.
Yes.
Woo.
It's been a while.
It has been a while, man.
Yeah. So I guess who wants to do this first? Who wants to break the cherry first? You or me?
I guess I'll pop the cherry.
Okay. I guess pause. I guess I need to add that in there somewhere.
So since we're popping cherries, I had sex for the first time. I'm no longer a virgin.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I'm playing. Ladies and gentlemen, season 2 for our Millennials Podcast has returned. I am your boy, Pablo the Canadian.
And I'm your boy, T'Challa, the King of Wakanda.
And we are back.
Yes.
We are in this thing. What's happening, G?
Hey, man, for Millennials Podcast, man, we are back better than ever. We are missing a person right now, the illustrious producer T. But instead, we do have friend of the show, de facto member of the 4 Millennials.
Yes, sir.
Our boy, Chris C-Dub.
Yes,
What
sir.
up, world? What's going on, good people? Just for the awkwardness, I'm going to actually not sit in between these two
Yeah.
Why
brothers.
are you so close to me?
I know it's very weird. I'm sorry. I just
smell
want
so
to say
sweet.
hello.
Why do you smell
It's
like
the
that?
drink, man. It's like,
He on that larceny,
Yeah,
bro.
Are you
that
expecting
larceny.
women to be here?
dude, I'm married.
You are. That's a great answer. Kayla, there you go. You see how-
Kayla is watching.
Look,
Yeah.
I had to fuck with him a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't noticed, we're currently celebrating as well.
Yes, man. Cheers,
we-
man.
Cheers.
Yes.
God
Yes.
is good.
Absolutely.
We managed to make it to season 2,
Yep.
alive and well,
Yep.
which is important. But as we do this show, we want to let you guys know, the viewers, that we're actually going to be taking your questions. So if you have anything you want to discuss with us, if there's anything you want to ask us, let us know. Brother Chris over here will relay your questions to us, and we'll answer to the best of our ability.
Yep.
But we're engaging you. That's why we're doing this. So not only is it our season opener, but it's our way to engage with the audience, engage with the fans, and you guys can enter our world for a little bit of time, and then after that, we got to kick y'all the hell out.
Is anything off the books, like as far as like question wise?
I mean, is it ever?
Okay, because I'm just saying, like, if I get a wild question, bro, I don't know.
I mean,
I'm gonna have to dodge like a politician, bro.
I mean, if it's anything that's going to harm others, which there's nothing that we have, but if it's something that personal that has another family member or friend that I can't discuss or we can't discuss, obviously, but for the most part, if it's us and shit that we've gone through,
Okay.
yeah, no, it's
So you remember that time? No, I'm bullshit.
Hey, man. Look, I was ready. I prepared myself mentally to make sure that, if we're asked any crazy ass questions, that, we're good.
Yeah.
That we're good. We're good.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Cool.
but anyway, man, we so if the audience knows, the fans know, we're about 2 months behind. We were supposed to start a couple months ago, but we were a little bit delayed. So in that time period, man, what you been up to, bro?
Oh man, so in that time period, I celebrated a birthday. Your boy is now officially 35.
Damn you, whoa.
Yeah, man. Hey,
Good
put
shit,
some
bro.
respect on those numbers.
Hey, all day, man. All day.
Wisdom.
Jay, keep them young, please. Keep
I
them
got
young.
like one gray hair, like right here in my beard, but it's all good though, man. So yeah, celebrating my birthday in Jamaica, man. I was in Trelawney, got an opportunity to go to Otros Rios.
You're done.
Well,
Sweet.
Yeah, man. So enjoyed that. I got to spend some time with my wife's side of the family as well too, since she is originally from Jamaica. So it was good times, man. Also one thing too. Oh, yo. So y'all know, like, I've been writing for a while now. Probably writing since I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I officially started a blog. It's called Not All Nerds. I repurposed the old blog of mine.
Okay.
Started that, and just really, man, honestly, it's for me just to perfect my craft.
Dope.
So I've been doing that. I haven't posted in a while, but I am going to get back on there, posting some more. Yeah, man, I'm excited about it. Don't know where it's gonna take me, or I don't necessarily see myself making a career out of writing, but it's definitely a hobby of mine, something that I know that I'm good at.
Well, you can use
Get
it.
it out.
You can
Get it out.
Well, you can
Yeah.
use it as an escape from reality. I mean, we all have our vices.
That's true.
Or I wouldn't even call it a vice. I would just say it's your artistic expression from your realistic pain. So I look, hey, if you got to write, if you got to do art, whatever the case may be, as long as you're able to, it's therapy.
There you go.
Is essentially what it is.
You're right. You're right.
Which, let's be honest, man, there's a lot of people out here who deal with the same shit we all deal with, but don't find an outlet, a productive and constructive outlet to kind of get the shit off their chest. So, brother, look, right? If it turns into a career, just make sure you just keep working, brother, on the payroll.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. Like producer T was like, yo, since he gave me some advice, he was like, he just wants to get paid on the back end.
He does shit.
And I'm like, you know what? You are one of those guys who probably like took down the U.S. in this whole financial crisis that we had some years back. You are the reason.
Right. I mean, it made sense. Then we wanted to hear it. I mean, he's the same guy. Yes, we're talking shit about producer T, Terrence Dion, motherfucking Lewis, because we can do that. He's probably at some point we have to call him during the show. We're going to call him. He's out here partying, living a good life.
We know you out here fucking up.
He knew all this time that we were going to do a live webcast, and his ass decided to take a fucking vacation.
So it's a Howard homecoming.
Sushi.
I ain't gonna lie, I would love to be there. I love being here, but you know what I'm saying.
So if y'all don't know, we have a story about T and how we started this whole process with doing the For Millennials podcast.
Yes, please tell that story.
So and we've talked about it on the show, but now you actually get to see us talk about it. So this whole thing started because Du and I have been friends for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
And we were we met each other through Terrence. And so Du knows Terrence from college, and I know Terrence from high school. And so long story short, Du and I have always hit it off. We've always had a lot in common, especially when it comes to fitness, culture, and most importantly, fandom. That's our relationship started from that point.
Yep.
But Du had been producing his wife's show for a while, and it only made sense that at that point when they reached out to me that I did her show, Jay's show. Shout out to Jay and Casey. Get your life.
Get your life. Yes.
Get your life. Shout them out. That's a sister show. They're dope. But back then they were a different show name. I can't remember the name of the show.
They were Think Loud Podcast.
Think Loud Podcast. So I did that show, talked about my life, and I enjoyed it.
And we got some rave reviews on that episode, bro.
It was dope because it was a conversation that men typically don't have open and honestly.
That's true.
Right?
We need more of that, man.
I mean, even for me, it's not. I knew I wanted to do it. It just something told me to do it. So when y'all approached me, I was like, let's do it.
Yeah.
So long story short, felt comfortable with it. Come to find out, before we get to that, Terrence had been telling me that I should start my own podcast. I should, have that conversation.
Yep.
I was like, yeah, and he's like, reach out to Du. Du produces his wife's show. I was like, all right, let me reach out to Du. So Terrence convinced me. Cool. Terrence, thank you. So at this point, I'm like, damn, what am I going to talk about? I'm like, well, wait a minute. If I'm going to talk about this and Du produces his wife's show, why don't Du and I do a show together?
Yep.
So I call up Du. Wasn't even 3 minutes into the conversation, he was like, man, I've been meaning to reach out to you. I want to do a show with you. So we were on the same page before we even had the conversation.
Wow.
And sure enough, we're here. Now, this asshole T, once he sees how good we are, this asshole comes up and says, well, you know what, guys? Fuck y'all. I'm going to be an honorary producer for the show.
Like, we were already like 10, 12 episodes in.
Straight strong arm.
Debo was like, I'm going to be producing the show and coming up with ideas with y'all. I need logins and passcodes.
Right.
You know what?
Hey, Terrence,
You
ain't
forced
shit,
yourself onto
T.
the payroll.
And then he started saying, yo, y'all niggas need to start saving receipts. I've never saved fucking receipts, bruh. Like, anytime we go out, business meeting, we record outside of the conventional places where we record. Yo, save those receipts. Save those receipts. Let me get those.
It's just how it works, man.
Yeah, man.
But no, T. Look, as funny as it is, we don't mind it. It only made sense when we had a call with T to discuss the show and him being a producer. We were both on the same page. Like we were all on. Why not? Absolutely, your family. To be honest with you, Du and I doing a show together happened because of you. If you didn't drop that seed, it wouldn't have happened. Du and I would still be sitting here questioning it.
Yep.
I don't even think I would have been comfortable enough to even reach out to you because not that I was scared, it's just everyone overthinks everything.
Yeah.
Yep. And being the methodical, intelligent individuals that we are, we're going to think of every other scenario besides the obvious and simplest one to say why we need to do this. So
right.
if T didn't just drop the seed, we wouldn't be here right now. So yes, T, thank you, brother.
We said all that shit.
Yeah.
We said we appreciate you.
Oh, we meant the shit. we meant it out of love. Still didn't like the approach.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, brother. So we appreciate you, player.
It was quite honestly, it was a little too forward for me. if we want to just like put it all out there, you know what I'm saying? Like you just not gonna take me to bed, bro. You know, like wine and dine me a little bit. Take me to the movies first. You know what I'm saying?
You got that Chi-Town player.
Oh man.
And hard pause on that too as well. I got to throw that out there.
Shout out to Travis Turner. Is that Travis Turner, man? That
Yeah,
made a
man.
comment.
Yo, shout out Trav, man. He's in Texas now, doing this thing.
What you doing in Travis? Or what are you doing in Travis? I need to stop drinking this rum. What you doing in Texas, Travis, man? Let us know, man. We definitely give you a shout out, man. Appreciate you for tuning in.
And gotta have him back on the show too.
We
man.
do.
Yeah, we gotta have him back on the show.
We do. His was American Bacon.
Yes, that was his podcast. Yep. And we drank a lot of.
We had
beer
a
that day.
lot of alcohol at that damn bar.
Yeah.
Wings and beer, tasting all kinds of beer.
Yeah, man.
Chocolate brew beer, coffee brew beer,
Birthday
sour,
cake,
Good
beer.
birthday
times,
cake
man. Good
beer.
times.
Yeah.
Different citrus flavored beers.
Yeah.
We learned a lot about brews that day.
What was this again?
Where was what?
Where y'all had? Oh, when y'all were at the joint at
We're in the local.
bar.
The local.
At the
Yeah,
bar.
the local.
Okay.
Yeah, the local. That was a good spot, man. And Travis came through, and he's a beer aficionado. He knows it all. Shit. Again, like we said, we learned a lot about beer. Beer is beer to me.
Yeah.
I'm a Heineken, Labatt Blue, Yingling, and Red Stripe kind of guy.
Yo,
And he, you know what I mean? Like he just started dropping
Yeah.
just some
different brews that we had never heard about.
Georgia, and like over these last few years too, like Georgia has come up with so many like homegrown breweries
Oh,
now.
man.
Like I can't even name them all now. There's so many. So from like, of course, there's Sweetwater. Everybody knows
Oh,
Sweetwater.
shit.
but-
Yep, over there at Monroe.
Yeah, man. But you also have Red Hair. Was it
Gate City Brewery.
Monday night.
Monday night. Yeah. You have Scofflaw.
Yeah, the Ponce, the Gate City Brewery, which is down there Kent Street in Roswell. Then you got Ponce City Brewery.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of new ones coming up too.
There's so many.
Yeah, if you go to like Kroger and Publix, a lot of the grocery stores, you'll get your local beers just lined up.
Yeah, man.
There's tons of them.
Yeah, man.
Georgia's come up a lot, man. Should we might get
Yo.
Dude, so story about myself. I was in a group. It was maybe about 6 or 7 of us,
Yeah.
and we just all different types of dudes that liked beer. So we started creating our own home brews.
Okay.
We did that for a while, but then like folks started like having kids and stuff and other
Life
commitments.
getting in the way.
Yeah, life got in the way and just kind of slowed down. And yeah, man, it was good. We dropped an IPA.
Mhm.
I think we did something else as well too. But I realized that how easy it is to get into that market.
Okay.
Like one thing you need to learn though, sanitize. That's the most important thing.
That's the most important thing all the time.
Yeah, when creating your own brew. But yeah, man, let's talk about this offline a little bit.
We got to, man. We got anybody dropping comments, man, at all on the video?
Not yet, man. Travis did ask if we was drinking beer, but we got the castmates on deck.
Oh, I got beer in the car that I will probably bring up sometime during the middle of the show.
Yeah, what now?
I got a 6-pack in the car.
What you got? What?
It's called like Breakfast IPA.
Oh shit.
I forgot like what company it is.
Okay.
But I was like, I saw the name. I was like, okay, I'm fucking with this.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Yo,
okay.
so a new joint that I've been on as of late, and anytime wifey gives me the heads up and thumbs up on it means it's official. Budweiser has one where they basically taken Jim Beam whiskey
Yeah.
and they put the barrels that they keep the Jim Beam whiskey in. They put the brew in.
Yeah.
And let it sit for so long.
Is that like a bourbon type? Bourbon
yes.
Type? Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Amazing.
I know what you're
Shout out to producer Chris for putting me on right now.
I'll take it. Yo, I started to bring some, but I was like, yo, the castmates is gonna be lit.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if y'all, it's all good.
Yo, producer T would never do anything like this. Like,
You suck, T.
Hey, T, man, it's cool, man. I got this. Hey, T, it's cool. I got this.
Quick shout out to my sister Renee. What's up, baby? Tell little Olivia, my little niece. Hey, man, one of these days when she come back and visit, I'm gonna bring my niece around, man. She has this bottom lip, little teardrop bottom lip that gets me every time.
Oh, man.
That's what I tell you. If God ever blesses me with a daughter, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Yeah.
Done deal.
Yeah,
this little child's face. Oh my God, bro. Love my niece. Shout out, Boo Boo. What's up? CT Cook. We're glad to be back.
Yo, Courtney, what's up, man? Like, Courtney is probably the most supportive person ever in the world. So we definitely have to shout her out. Thank you for rocking with us. Since day one, we really appreciate it. Everything that you do. So thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate the love. We see the love from a lot of y'all, but yeah, she's been every time we drop a new post, episode, she's on it, giving us feedback, showing that love. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Oh, my brother is calling me during the podcast, and
boo.
Bro. Yo, I am like recording a podcast right now, and you're on it, yeah.
He just plugged himself.
What the plug?
He just plugged.
My man with the plug.
So they gonna write us a check?
They writing checks or no?
Let's say they writing checks or not?
You can't hear today.
Now you want to play dumb
who
now.
You just plugged?
He said, "What's a check?"
Okay. Preach. Okay. Cool, man.
What is going on?
Yo, man, we just kicking it, man. Of course, first time back from hiatus, and we're just riffing right now. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
I feel you. Preach, man, preach. Yo, I'm gonna hit you when we done, right? All right, then, bro. Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Appreciate that love.
Do Tyler with the fucking Apple Watch action over there.
I
see you, Dick Tracy.
Damn,
Let me turn mine on. Damn.
Excuse me, let me get my Tony
Yo,
Stark on.
I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Jarvis, are you there?
I got the 4 series I watch, and I feel like Tony Stark for real. That's pretty dope.
Travis said it was barrel-aged Budweiser.
Okay.
So, hey, if anybody knows, he knows.
Yeah.
Never heard of it. We've obviously had it, but we didn't know the name. So appreciate you, Travis. Thank you for that, brother. Good looking out.
Trav with the plug.
All right. For the audience again, let y'all know if y'all have any questions for us. This is for you guys. Although it's a season opener and a live webcast, if you guys have any questions, anything you want to know, let us know. We will see if we can answer it. I know some of y'all crazy. My sister's crazy.
Yeah.
I love you to death, but you're wild. All my sisters are crazy, but they love me, so I love you back. I get my craziness from y'all. My mother's wild. Hello, Mama. I love you. I had a great day.
Mom's on?
Mom is on.
Shout out, Mom.
So I'm sorry, Mom, for the cursing. I love you very much. It's just real life. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to shout this brother out because he just joined us. Known this cat for almost 20 years. I'm extremely excited right now. He knows I'm about to say his name. You better say something before I say your name, brother, because you just joined. Come on. Type something. I'm gonna say your name in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, Wayne Bradley, Big Swole, Cot Diesel, Wheezy has joined the show. We appreciate you, brother. What's happening? Miss you like crazy. He's family, y'all. Nigga so big, so wide, he can't even fit through the door. Shoulder so big. Stop getting swole, making everybody look small, man. Shit. Damn. Actually, you know, to be honest with y'all, I wouldn't have gotten in fitness if it wasn't for that cat.
That's what's up, man.
I was a good solid $155 soaking wet in high school.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, I was a little dude.
Shout out to that man.
Yeah, and he was my size now in high school. Why? How are you so swole in high school, bro?
Man.
The whole family like that.
Damn.
Even Papa Bradley's swole as shit. All of them.
It's in the genes. It's in the genes.
It really is.
Yo, speaking of questions, I got a question for you though, bro.
What you got, man?
What have you been up to?
Well, I mean, yeah, we did get kind of carried away on that. A lot. So, I'm very open and honest with the audience.
Yep.
So I'll just let y'all know. The last couple of months, I've actually been on hiatus. If any of you have ever listened to our Men of Steel episode, Du and I got very personal, and we talked a lot about mental health, especially in the Black community, especially amongst Black men. But unfortunately, the last 2 or 3 months, my anxiety and depression came back, and it came back full-fledged. It actually did a pretty good number on me. Yep. So I had to step back a little bit, which is why we didn't debut our episode, our season 2 episode in September, because of it. So I'm not going to go into major detail. We're actually going to save that for an up-and-coming episode that we have for you guys. Where we're going to go a little bit more in depth with mental health, as you know, holistically, not necessarily just the Black community, but holistically. But that's really what it was. It was. I just literally had to cut ties with social media. I haven't touched the gym in 3 months. I've lost 20 pounds. As
you can see, ladies.
Yeah,
my brother is skinny as shit.
I'm
now.
skinny, and for some of y'all who be like, "Nah, Paul's still kind of." No. I was walking around with a good 227, 230 for a little while, and it felt great. So yeah, losing 20 pounds of hard work sucks.
Well, guess what? I'm sure there's a lot of our listeners that would prefer to lose 20 pounds
there you go.
versus gain.
Oh, no, that's the good 20 pounds.
Yeah.
That's the good 20 pounds that you put on unintentionally.
I got you.
I put on, when I was in high school, Weezy will tell you, I was about, like I said, $155, maybe $160 top.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was skinny, bro. Skinny. So to spend 10 plus years getting to 230, I was proud of that shit. Man. You know what I mean? Like it felt great. It felt great. Like blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of work.
Real.
And so but no, I've always told, and we've talked about it. You know, anxiety and depression is not something you fuck around with. So I apologize to the audience, to the fans, but I had to take care of my health, and it was very important. So, but I'm doing better. Back full-fledged. I'm back with the brother Du.
Yep.
My man right here.
Goku and Vegeta. I'm Vegeta though. I'll say I'm Vegeta in this relationship.
That's fair.
Because that's my spirit animal. Like straight up, man. Like
you know what?
I can see that. I can see that.
Like, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. He's a black Vegeta.
Yeah.
Damn.
Missing the hair.
Yeah, man.
Me too.
And me too.
That's fair.
No, you got a little bit of a line on there.
Yeah, that's called surgical processing.
Yeah.
So you be real honest with the listener
I'm
now.
keeping real. Look,
see, Du and I, we don't really have options. You can still taper that.
No,
I can't taper that.
I can't taper. This is literally. I'm very open and honest. I've had micropigmentation done. Yeah, you can get it done, and it's great. Oh my God, it's a compliment.
Man, I've been involved so long, I don't.
But hey, look.
See, I'm growing my joint out right now, but my line is jacked up. So as you can see, I got the hat on right now. But I'm going to let me get my bougie on. I'm going to a gala
Okay.
on Saturday with the wife. So yeah.
What you saying, dude? You gonna let them taper that joint, or you just want the fresh ball?
You know what? I think I'll probably let them taper it, man. I'm gonna take it down low because I got like this one ball spot right here. Just like even it out just a little bit where it's not as noticeable. Yeah, see, that's how I'm gonna rock.
See, it's funny because men, this is what we talk about. We talk about bald shit. When it comes to women, it's everything from head to toe.
Yeah,
everything. And sometimes I gotta remind myself that it's like I can sit here and nitpick about my hairline.
Yeah.
But women go through the works to maintain their beauty.
That's true.
Yes.
And I'm gonna be extra honest with y'all real quick. I'm gonna just keep it real. So I went to Panama City. I can't remember when I went to Panama, but went to Panama. And before I went to Panama, a friend of mine hit me up and was like, "Hey man, I was at this event that I did, and there was this fashion, some fashion designer there that also does waxing classes."
Oh wow!
Where she teaches young cosmetologists and waxing experts on how to remove hair.
Okay.
So he was like, they're looking for a male model. So I was like, you know what? This would be an interesting time for me to go sit in a room with a bunch of women, get waxed. Yes, I admit I got waxed. I don't want to hear the shit. I got waxed, but I'm thinking it's gonna be a room full of women. It's a great opportunity to plug the show because mostly women listen to the show.
Wait. Hold on.
Stop. Hold on.
Let me finish. Let me get to it.
You can't just skip over that.
No, fuck that. Let me get to it. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, look, I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be a male model, show it off, and women want to see. And at the same time, I can talk about the show. So I'm like, cool, great opportunity. So I get there. And I knew I was going to strip down to my underwear. So I was like, cool. So I made sure I put on my Calvin Klein, make sure I'm straight. You know what I mean? So
make sure the shit was clean.
So I take up, right. Took a really, really great shower, exfoliated, took care of my shit, make sure I'm good. So I'm down in my boxes and I know I walk out. And before I walk out of the bathroom, in the classroom, the women are all talking and doing whatever they're doing and getting ready for, the male model to come out. So I literally open the door and I walk out. They all go silent. Go silent. So I'm thinking, I'm cool with it because I'm like, all right, either they're silent because they've never seen another man collectively in a room together, or maybe there's something wrong with me. So I'm checking my shit. I'm like, all right, I'm cool, I'm good. So I land the table.
Whoa.
This is already too much.
Hold on, let me finish.
So did you lay and this is a question that I'm asking for our listeners. And
Thank you, producer Chris.
Okay.
Thank you, producer.
So when you lay, did you lay on your back? Did you lay on your side and cross your legs? Like, dude, how do you do that?
Let me get to that.
There's no straight way to lay.
It's not.
Let me get to this. Hold on. So look.
Wait. Okay.
So
did you prep yourself before you walked out of the bathroom? And you know what I mean when I say prep yourself. Because if you're gonna be in the front of a bunch of women,
you
got in your boxes, you have to have prepped yourself.
Brother, I'm good.
Okay. All right.
This shit we need to know, man.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead and tell us.
Your boy's dead.
All right.
So I lay on my back, just laying down like.
Oh, you're on your back.
Dead fish. Why you gotta go into detail like that? Anyway, so I'm laying on my back. So I'm laying on my back, and so she's like teaching the class, and she's like, "Well, what you got to do is you got to shave a little bit on your legs and wherever you're gonna get hair taken off." So she's telling the class, "We're gonna shave his chest hair down to a little bit, so it's easier to remove the hair." So she shaved. I'm like, "Cool." So I see them getting ready with the wax. She applies the wax. It's nice and warm and comfortable. She's like, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got this." So she lays it all over my chest. Lays a strip down on my chest.
It sounds uncomfortable.
Rip.
It's very uncomfortable.
Rip.
I'm feeling like 40-year-old virgin a little bit.
Bruh.
Me too.
Oh my God. When I tell you, I immediately was like, I didn't like jump up or flinch, but I was like, I have a lot of respect for you.
You didn't scream?
I didn't scream. I promise you, I'll put that on everything. Until.
Okay.
Wow.
Until she got down to my belly button.
Oh, yeah.
And she got close to that region.
Yeah.
And at that point, I started squirming just a little bit.
Yeah.
And I literally was like, I got nothing but respect for y'all because y'all go through a lot for this beauty.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at is that, we can nitpick about the hairline and this, that, and the third, but women are worried about their body hair. They're worried about how long their hair is. They're worried about the way their nails look.
True.
They worry about their face.
It's a different level of maintenance.
Whole different level.
I
You know
agree.
what
I agree.
All we're worried about is whether or not we can perform.
Yeah. But we do enjoy the finished product.
Oh no.
I'll
we
say that.
we love the finished product.
Hey, look, man, when we see a woman show up and she bang good, hey, look, nothing but love and respect. But what they got to go through versus what we got to go through,
True.
I had the respect before.
Agreed.
But I got the
Agreed. I want to ask you though,
Yeah.
did you hit that Denzel Washington glory like single tear running down the cheek when she waxed you that first time? that one little tear.
Things we need to know, brother.
Right.
You can't leave that
the
off.
The people need this information.
He's been trying to avoid that.
Why you got to do me like that?
Hey, man, you asking for it right now.
Why you got to do me like that, man? I was a strong, light-skinned brother that day. Okay, I was very strong.
Okay.
I didn't harness my inner Drake or my Chris Brown that day.
And you weren't laying on your side.
No, I wasn't laying on my side. However,
or your stomach.
I did have to turn around on my stomach. And
see?
she got the back of my
There we
calves.
go.
She got the back of my
There
calves.
we go. Mm.
It was burning.
That's all she got.
That's yeah. So I'll be honest with y'all. So I'll be honest. I'll be honest. She didn't get above my knee. She was like, "Did you want to get any?" I was like, "No."
So she's respectable.
She was very respectable.
Okay.
She was hitting on me at the same time. But anyways, this is besides the point. She got to my knee, and she didn't go any further. I was like, "Look, my pain threshold only goes for so far. But when you start getting close to the nether region,
Yeah.
no sir,
It gets weird.
it gets very weird and uncomfortable, and that's a level of pain.
No,
I can agree with that.
No, I'm not dealing with that.
I guess my thing was like just laying on the table naked, like unless my wife is there, like I can't just be laying. You know what I mean? I can't just be laying in the bed naked by myself. It's weird. It's strange, you know.
Nah,
because if you're on your back, you know, and you're going straight to sleep, cool. But if you're like on your back and you're chilling, you're gonna eventually turn to the side, and then it gets weird because then you start like putting one leg over the other, and then it just gets suspect, you know. So it's just I don't know, man. That's strange.
It's just all awkward all around.
Yeah, this is just
all the awkwardness.
Point being, ladies and gentlemen, for the audience out there, what we go through is different for y'all ladies. So it's all love. Once again, letting you guys know for anybody who's joined, if you got any questions, if anything you want to know, you want to ask us, please let us know. We've got our producer Chris, who's right here beside us. He can see your comments. He's going to let us know what questions you may have. So feel free to ask us.
Y'all better start asking because this James is it's starting to hit my ass. If you can't tell already.
Right, it really is. It's do we have anybody who anybody else have any comments for us, anything like that?
Dude, you know, I want to say before we get into some listener questions, though, one thing I need to say this though. Not to get somber, but I'm going to. I do want to say thoughts, prayers, our hearts go out to the Pittsburgh community.
Yes.
For what happened, something very, very tragic. With 11 people died in the synagogue. And that's one of the last places that, you know, you would expect something to happen. But then again, you know, just a few years back in South Carolina, the very same thing happened, you know, at an AME church where 9 people were murdered. So I just want to say, you know, our thoughts and prayers, you know, go out to the Pittsburgh community. We're with y'all in solidarity here in Atlanta.
Yeah. No, absolutely. When I saw that, it was right after I had seen the whole news about the pipe bombs that went out to many of the individuals who were not supportive of certain political parties.
Right.
And so, you know, it following up right afterwards was very, it was just the wrong time. But when it happened, immediately people were following, saying that it also was a conspiracy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, regardless if it's a conspiracy or not, it was lives lost.
Man.
It was a tragedy. The moment someone's life is lost, that is the focus, not the implication.
Right.
We will figure that out later.
Yeah.
First things first is we need to show love for those who have passed away.
Yeah. And the families, man.
And it's not just the people. Exactly. It's
Yeah.
not just the 11 people. It's their lives that they had affected before they passed on.
Yeah.
And that, you know what I mean? So it's more than just 11 people.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just tragic, man. So our hearts and prayers always go out. Anytime something tragic happens in the country, we always try to show love. So Definitely a love. For Millennials love goes out there to the folks in Philly. But yeah. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
any questions we got at all?
So, look who's here. It looks like
Who do we got?
so Kayla Whitehead. Damn, it feels good to say that.
The wife?
The wife.
What's the wife saying?
You know. Kayla
Chris's
said,
wife.
"Would you ever get waxed again?"
Would I ever get waxed again?
Great question, babe.
Not for leisurely purposes. Not for like because I want to be like nice. Like
Yeah.
women go for they want to be smooth. And I wouldn't do for that. But what I would do for is like if we do like a photo shoot or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I'm in boxes or whatever, and when we get to that point, and we will get to that point.
You guys together?
No, not together.
You said we.
Let me be specific.
I'm asking good questions,
No,
right, people?
Negro,
You said we.
I said wait. I said when we get to the point
Dude,
where we
he
do
said.
photo.
Did he say we?
Nigga, you didn't let me
I
finish.
don't know, man. I was trying to
Let me finish.
My bad. Go
Let me
ahead.
finish.
My wife said I do this shit all the time, so maybe.
Yes.
What is he saying?
I was saying when we get to the point to where people want to do photo ops with us, not necessarily always together.
You said us
I said us meaning when they want us to do photo ops.
together in boxers.
No,
Okay.
I didn't say that.
All right,
And I need to go do my own thing.
Okay, I got you.
And they want to take pictures of me, then yes, I will wax at that point. Absolutely.
Babe, if you're listening,
Fix it, dude. Cause this shit bad.
This is look. First of all, shout out to our gay pride followers. We appreciate you guys. No discrimination at all. However, I'm not gonna claim something that I'm not a part of, and this is Atlanta being young and attractive and light skinned. It really doesn't help.
Yeah.
Chris, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
Hey, it's
not
all
the attention that I want. Okay?
definitely jokes, bro.
Yeah.
But no,
are you slimming down now too?
See, now you guys are
Careful,
really
man.
serious. Just because of that shit, I'm just gonna go back to the gym and put 20 pounds back on. Oh man,
Yo,
Cause you out here.
But speaking of, I got some salutes though.
All right.
So first salute, first and foremost, I want to salute all our listeners, everybody who's just joined us right now on Facebook Live, for rocking with us, y'all. I know, P's already apologized already, but I just want to give all y'all kudos for sticking in there with us. As my brother was saying when he was on the phone, he's like, yeah, the reposts are cool, but having us back together in the mix, that's even better. So shout out to y'all.
Yes.
My second salute goes out to the brother producer Chris here, that we hit up, and he picked up the phone. We let him know what was happening. That producer T was going to be out of town, and he'd even let us finish. Saying what we were saying. He was like, "Yo, I got y'all.
Yeah.
I'm
We'll
there."
make this real good.
I
love these guys.
Yeah, he had to hit up the wife first, which I would have done the same exact thing.
See, you hear that, babe? I do my part.
Yeah.
And you do your part all the time. Hey, I did the right thing.
Yeah.
This feels really weird, but it's cool.
Why are you so close to me? After you just said some shit that I was apparently going to go do.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Man,
Yes.
look,
Yes.
man.
Producer Chris,
As long as you don't have short
salute.
good.
Salute to you, bro.
Real
Appreciate
quick, it's shout out season opener. Let me try.
It's really warm.
it.
What did he say he was?
He is at Howard Homecoming, but
What's he doing?
call him.
I'm gonna FaceTime him because he's a bum.
him.
Yeah, I'm gonna call him. Let me see what this fool's saying. He better pick up too.
Damn, we're really close.
Shout out to the new iPhone too, bro.
Hey guys, so yeah,
I don't know if he's
We're family, y'all.
it's family.
But he attempted to call me and I didn't answer because I'm sorry, I was too busy trying to.
Come on, Terrence, you gotta pick up, dude.
Hey, as you're calling him before he picks up,
Yeah.
we just lost. We, as in, Atlanta United, 4-1 to Toronto FC.
Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah, there he is. You are a bum. What up,
Look
man?
at this laughing.
You are looking really light skinned right now.
Yeah, super light skin.
Hey,
Very
what up,
light-skinned.
man?
Yo, turn your phone around. And let the Facebook Live look at
Yeah,
it.
let the people see this.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is producer T. This is the kind-hearted fellow I was talking about earlier. I said good words. We also have another visitor, Ryan Carter.
My brother.
Hold on, man.
This guy get right here, man.
Oh no, you got it, bro.
You don't want to be on camera.
Oh, okay.
What's up, man?
Not just yet. What's
Yo,
up?
hold on. I feel a little threat right now.
My God.
It's like 1, 2, 3, 4 light skins and just me. Just me right now.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
We need to even this out right
Hey,
now.
Ryan, that's life after Obama. That's what you just got to deal with.
I don't appreciate this light skin domination right now.
Hey, T, man, you cheesing really hard, brother. What's up, man? That hairline looking good.
Yeah,
Right, extra crispy.
You
You
got me missing my shit.
You around a lot of women because them curls is look at the curls. Bro. Look at it.
Hey, yo, producer T. All right. So what I said earlier while we were talking was I wanted to know like your debauchery that happened this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Because I know you engaged in some shenanigans.
So let's see,
And
bro.
the people need to know.
We need to know.
He's in Howard Homecoming.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was that?
Now
bro?
he ain't going back to Vegas for a while.
All right. Tell us. Let us know what happened.
Hey, this how you know he right. He been smiling the whole time.
You just Howard Homecoming.
Okay.
What
Okay.
happens at Howard Homecoming stays at Howard Homecoming? Oh shit. Oh, okay. Well, what we'll do is salute, brother. Cheers to you. Season
Cheers,
opener.
my brother.
Cheers, bro.
We're live and in full effect right now. Much
sir.
love. You know you're having a good time because you sweating just standing there.
Ah.
All right.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Long day tomorrow.
Okay.
But, hey,
Yeah,
shout
man.
out to all the fans,
Yes, sir.
podcast that's chiming in. You know what I'm saying? Brian, what up?
Hey, what's happening, bro?
Well, hit us up when you get back, man.
That's a bet, man.
All right, yo.
All right,
Safe
bro.
travels, brother.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
yo.
Producer
Producer T.
Yo, his job is gone though. Like Chris has done such a great job so far.
Oh man, y'all warm my heart. This is why I wore a shirt.
Damn, you waited for me
I
to
knew I
hang
was-
up for you to say that?
I knew I was gonna be crying
We're gonna
today, man.
scratch him
Don't
out
do
of the
that.
contract. Like
Look at this.
and write
He's trying to-
Chris's name in.
Right there.
I'm cool with
To the
that.
right. To the right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
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 I'm
No.
sorry.
The farthest one beside the fridge.
And I never thought I would say this, but it's
Oh no, I'm tripping. You were right. I'm bugging, man. Right there.
Are y'all comfortable? If y'all
Yeah. Pull the mirror. That one right
Yeah,
there.
it is. It's I'm at some point.
Ain't
I'm
no
gonna
plates in there.
take off this shirt. Pause.
Plastic plates.
And there will not be any races.
Right.
All right.
My fault, y'all. We Ryan doesn't seem to know how to open
Producer
cupboard
Chris
doors
back
to
to his
get paper
job.
plates. Back to the show
Dude.
though.
Can we talk about music a little bit?
Yes, there's been a lot of stuff that's been happening.
It's been a lot, but I will say this. Like, I know I'm skipping so ahead, but I want to keep the conversation going. This East Atlanta Love Letter album
Yeah,
by Black,
Chris.
bruh, that's the joint, bruh.
Yeah,
Love it from top to bottom.
yeah.
Like, so hold on. I'm gonna pull it up right now because I got it in my favorites in title. Shout out. But nah, bruh, like he did his thing, man. Black really did his thing. Like, so from Unfair, to the title track, East Atlanta Love Letter with Future.
Yeah.
I think that was a good feature. I think Future didn't necessarily enhance the track because I think that even without Future, the track would have been good and a standout track. But it was good that he was on the joint.
See, I like Black. I think he's a dope artist. I really do think he's got his own sound that I can really rock with. But when it comes to Future, I don't have anything against Future.
You're neutral on him.
Yeah.
Not you don't really like him.
Like
don't like him.
The vibe is not there for him anymore. I feel like the train is past.
Really? I don't know, man. Because okay.
I mean, I feel like he staked his claim.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like,
Did you listen to that joint album with him and Juice WRLD? Have you listened to that yet?
No,
Okay.
I haven't. Is that good?
It's okay.
That's right.
Okay.
I will say this. Okay, let me say this. It's okay, but it's not for me.
Okay.
It's like listen to the lyrics. Like it ain't for me. Like a dude who just turned 35, a wife and 2 kids. Yeah, it ain't for me. But I mean, it got some vibe to it. But so I don't know if Future has lost the wave. I think at some point he's still riding the wave.
I don't think he's at the highest. I don't think he's at the highest level of the wave right now.
Okay,
I don't. I'm not saying
That's
that.
fair.
I'm not saying he's irrelevant because he's
That's
not.
fair.
That wouldn't be fair for me to say that he's irrelevant.
Yep.
I would just say that he's not at the high. And everyone has their moments to where the wave just kind of keeps going.
Yeah.
I mean, for an example, I mean, hip hop is a very competitive art form, and
Yep.
so with the large group that there is of artists and acts within hip hop, you have a small group of people who will always be relevant.
Yeah.
Hov is one, obviously.
Yeah.
P. Diddy's gonna be one, obviously. You got a lot of the heavy hitters that are Drake, because he's gone so international.
Yeah.
He's always going to be relevant.
Well, he tries. I think thinking about Drizzy though, he tries to catch the sound
Yeah.
before it really pops, and then whatever he does is gonna have tick. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, whatever he does is gonna be popular.
But that's what you need, though.
Yeah. No. I mean, I agree.
Yeah, I think a lot of times hip hop has been, because it started from the street, it was an expression of the environment that was happening at the time and still to this day. But if hip hop didn't branch out, if we didn't have cats like Nelly,
Yeah.
if we didn't have cats like Drake, we didn't have a lot of acts that really took the music in a different direction, we wouldn't
Yeah.
be what it is today.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe 3 years ago that hip hop was finally confirmed to be the #1 musical art form on the earth.
Yeah.
So, and there's a reason why, because it had to branch out. We needed.
And it's versatile.
It's very versatile.
We have
100%.
how many like subgenres? We can't even count.
There's,
How many subgenres in hip hop?
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's hip hop is the true form of expression, and hip hop itself derives from other forms of music that they themselves were also very open and honest and real about what was happening. But that sound, that true gritty sound
Yeah.
that hip hop provided, is nothing like it.
Yeah.
Nothing like
No,
it.
agreed.
And for it to branch out into what it is today, it's only going to get better. I mean, that's besides the major topics that we talk about on a regular basis, hip hop is always going to be the foundation for the show.
So basically, you're saying hip hop running the culture.
150%.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Nah,
I agree.
for sure. I mean, but going back to though, East Atlanta Love Letter.
Yeah.
Man.
The one track Pretty Little Liars with your boy Cole.
Yeah.
Cold.
Cole. Man, that verse. Probably.
Problem.
All right, hold on. Let me say this. And this is gonna sound very hyperbolic. But,
Wow.
Yeah. This is probably the verse of the year.
Whoa.
Rap verse of the year.
That's
That
out
Cole
there.
on Pretty Little Liars.
Okay.
Like, and y'all gotta, somebody has had to debate me on what's better so far.
Okay.
Verse wise. Not song, not album, just verse.
Okay.
Verse wise, I can see it, but I mean we still got a whole couple of months left.
We got 2 months. Who else dropping though?
Yeah, I don't
Who else about
know.
to drop?
Because Ninth Wonder doing something.
He has a
we
John
just gonna
Locke.
skip over Logic though? Like,
Oh shit. Oh
Okay.
shit.
how we gonna do that?
Shit. Oh.
You talking about
Young's not the
mixtape?
4?
No,
Yeah,
the
Wu-Tang Forever?
Yeah.
Yo, he's
We're gonna
right.
skip
Oh
over
my
the fact
god.
that this dude did an entire song with the entire Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang Forever is
minus
is-
ODB, God bless the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but we talking verses though. We talking verses.
Yeah, he's talking about actual. Yeah, I see what he's saying.
Okay,
I see what
okay.
he's getting at.
From a verse standpoint, I can see it.
Because I agree. What you do, I really do agree. For me, album wise, Black is great, but for me, album wise, Travis Scott was up there for me.
Yep.
But I fucked up and I completely forgot about Logic.
And I'm surprised at that.
I'm my fault.
All right, so
I
okay,
apologize
All
to
right.
the hip hop and the music fans out there. I fucked up.
All right, let's
Logic-
go back. Let's go back though. So are we okay? So we're talking now. We're talking. It seems like we're talking about what albums we're rocking with this year. Because originally I was just saying what my album of the week was.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I'm saying no. I'm not saying my album. I was saying from an album of the year standpoint, yes. But my album of the week is going to be Logic.
Okay.
No, absolutely.
Oh, cool.
And part of the only reason why we have different albums that we're going at is because we haven't talked about
We
albums
haven't.
in a while. So of all the music that I've listened to since we've been gone, Logic.
Sinatra 4.
Yeah.
Sinatra 4.
Young
Like,
Sinatra 4 is going to
yo,
be. That's.
Yo, I know, like, all the Drizzy fans are gonna hate me, but Drake would never. Cause y'all know he dropped that Wu-Tang Forever joint on was it third album?
Trolled the shit out of it.
Yeah, trolled the shit.
Trolled the shit out of it.
Out of Drizzy.
I didn't catch that wave until you put me on. We had
Yeah.
a text thread and you said that, and it resonated initially, and then I was like, yo, damn, dude just said something major right there.
Yeah, man.
So that was
He like the boy Logic had the actual members.
That's what I'm saying.
On the joint.
Don't get me wrong. If anybody's biased towards Drake, it's me.
Yeah.
I'm 100%. But the art form speaks for itself.
Yeah, man.
Wu-Tang Forever with Logic. Logic went toe for toe with all of Wu-Tang on that entire song.
Can we talk about Meth's verse?
Fine, come on.
Woo!
Matt still got it.
Bruh!
He still got
That
it.
man ain't miss a beat. Come on, man. Bruh!
Amazing.
You know who I was kind of upset about, man. His line, his verse was kind of trash, but
RZA? Oh yeah.
You know,
RZA-
as of late, RZA's verses have not been anything amazing to me.
No, I agree.
as a director and a filmmaker, like he really does this as a producer. I'm sorry. Let me take that back.
As somebody who just cultivates the Wu-Tang culture.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, he got it.
But his verse was
The
just,
verse? You're talking about a
guy.
guy who used to bump that Bobby Digital album like hard.
That Bobby
Yeah.
Digital
Back in the
was-
day.
Yeah, that was great. Great
Yeah,
stuff
man.
right there.
Yeah, he look, as much as again, like I said, as much love I have for Drizzy, he can't fuck with Logic's Wu-Tang Forever.
Yo, can we talk though how Drizzy has basically not only ran streaming album sales, but now he's fucking running goddamn parties now, birthday parties. Like he's the king of birthday parties now.
You talking about Drake?
Drake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, what can he not do, bruh?
Drake is that guy. Like that's what I'm saying.
What can
Like,
he not do?
that's why when a lot of people would be like, they can't understand like More Life. Like More Life wasn't actually an album. It was a compilation of different. It was a playlist.
It qualified as a mixtape from my understanding.
Well, what I mean
research
is that it wasn't an expression of Drake's normal music. It was just an arrangement of music that he made while he was on tour.
Yep.
But a lot of it was while he was overseas.
Yep.
So what people don't understand is that More Life was a segue into a sound that that people weren't used to, because that sound is more typically what you'll find in places like Europe and Asia.
international.
It's a very international sound.
Oh, don't forget Niger, man.
I apologize. Afrobeat, all of that.
Make sure you mention that. That's big.
You got to. But it takes a cat like Drake to be able to push the culture forward. Hip hop is even bigger now because of cats like him. Not just because of him,
I agree.
but cats like him. Hip hop has kind of branched out a little bit more. It's become more commercialized. You got Skepta. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got what's the other dude's name? Not there's Skepta, and then Giggs, I think his name is.
Giggs is there.
And there's another dude. There's
Diplo.
Skepta, and there's another dude. I forget his name.
Diplo.
Huh?
Diplo.
Diplo? No, not Diplo. Diplo was out. He's been
Nah,
out for a while.
Stormzy.
Stormzy.
All these names.
Shout out to
man.
Ghana.
All these artists, man.
Stormzy.
Stormzy's
You see
killing
what I'm
it.
saying? So not to say
Yeah.
that he necessarily put them on, but because Drake kind of opened that door, a lot of people decided to walk through it.
Yeah.
So, it's because of cats like Drake why you have that international sound. And that's how I take More Life. Because I'm going to tell you right now, More Life, that sound is huge overseas.
Mhm.
That sound is huge.
The Skepta, I fuck with him. He does some good shit.
He does. He really does. And when he tries, he drops some bars he can. For real. But that's
What
music,
else?
man.
What else? Well, so offline, producer Chris and I were talking about that Lil Baby and Gunna joint, which we are really
Fire.
feeling. Like it's dope, man.
The heat
It's
check?
dope. Cheers.
The heat check?
Yeah, man. No. Beat wise, that thing is riding. Lyrically, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, a lot of times we kind of like trash on the younger generation, especially when it comes to lyrics. But it was decent. So when I listen to the lyrics, especially from the younger generation, I don't go in thinking like, okay, this is gonna be garbage. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's
Okay.
like I try to get that out of my head altogether. But with this joint, I didn't leave the album saying, "Oh no, these niggas was just trash." So I'll say that.
See,
but I like that joint.
See, let me, because we talked about this before we started recording, that music, and I think Wifey had kind of put you in your place a little bit, and I've been checked as well. when it comes to nitpicking about younger artists and the type of music that they're coming out
Oh,
with.
yeah.
So I'm one to do that because obviously we're 80s babies. You know, so growing up in the 90s, hip hop at its pinnacle was just the boom bap era. That's what made Young Sinatra 4 so damn good. Was that sound is iconic, it's classic, it's an expression of real art. Whereas kids nowadays, I've said that artists nowadays, hip hop artists, are more like mascots for producers in the music. You know what I mean? Like it's the producers that are making the great music, not the artists.
Well, that stems back to what I mentioned with the brother, my brother Mano. We were hanging out with him and his wife yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and he was just talking about music. And he actually brought it to the point that a lot of the young rappers and the young generation's music is about the mood. You know, it's about the lyricism is not as important as the mood and the tone it sets.
Okay.
And we were talking about how that's the reason that Drake is so successful, because Drake has found a way to master the lyricism and combine it with the mood. And so he's grabbing two generations. He's grabbing our generation along with this up and coming generation, because he's setting the mood, he's hitting them with great lyricism, and he has the both of them and he's balancing them perfectly.
Okay.
So when you do that, I mean, you're able to push an entire culture, and you're able to get artists like Skeptic out there. You're able to get all these other artists on with you. And I think we even talked about the conversation with Lil Baby about whether or not he would be as notarized as he is now had it not been for the track that he was featured on, or that Drake was featured on, his track that he was featured on.
Right.
So it's just interesting how Drake has really got a mold on the game, and in a great way. And like you said, I think it's great for hip hop altogether.
Agreed.
Because it's pushing us into other genres that normally wouldn't listen, but because of that mood that's being set, people grab it off of that. Yeah. And
that's fair.
You set the right mood. And shout out to Joe Budden, because Joe Budden came out with the whole mood music back in the day.
Yeah.
And I'm just now kind of understanding that. It's like,
yo, go back and listen to some of those joints.
I was gonna say, can we touch on Joe Budden a little bit? Obviously, he's got a little
the
podcast
or the personality.
The personality.
Okay.
So I mean, shout out to Joe Budden. I'll be honest with you, another successful brother in podcasting, who's doing extremely well. He's paving the way for cats like us. We talk about. But I we've talked about this before, that Joe Budden kind of comes off a little bit like that old man who's kind of just
get off my lawn.
Yeah, you know, a little bit.
Groovy as hell.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But at the same time, that he does have a level of hip hop wisdom that the culture does need.
Agreed.
And what I mean by that is and Weezy, I saw your question on here. I'll try to get back to it. So I just want to let you know, brother, I see you. We're gonna get back on that. But Joe Budden, when he touched on the fact that XXX Tentacion was gonna die, or he had kind of put it out there that if he keeps going down the path that he's going in, a level of that kind of violence is gonna come his way.
Yeah.
And I think he was just. I think it was a coincidence that when X died, that you know, people started thinking about what Joe Budden said. But I think what Joe Budden was really trying to say is that you got a lot of these fake gangsters that are really out here trying to do it, and he's speaking the truth about, you know, Joe Budden kind of lived that life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of cats who was rapping back in the day lived that life. They know exactly what's going to happen, so they can predict and kind of call out situations like Trippie Redd and Tekashi and Triple X and all these guys really putting up and flexing on the ground, you know, talking reckless, and things are happening. And I think with Joe Budden, that level of wisdom and knowledge that he has, the culture needs that.
Yeah. I think the thing is, though, I like Joe. I like Joe a lot.
I do like him.
I'll say this because I listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
I've been listening for a while now.
Yeah.
A lot of people say they hate him. I actually don't. I really, really respect him highly. I think, though, with him, if I have one thing to say about him, is, though, his approach. I think his delivery. I think sometimes you can say all the things that he's saying, but you can say it in a different way. And sometimes, you know, and he'll probably just say, you know, well, fuck it. You know what? It doesn't matter my delivery. The truth is the truth. Yeah. But I'm like, yo, if you really want people to hear you and heed you, you know, listen to what you're saying and apply it. You're gonna have to come up with a better approach to that. That's better delivery.
That's fair.
I agree, and I think here's the facts though, and I think we all can agree on this. We all probably felt the way Joe felt. We just haven't verbalized it the way he did.
Yeah.
Because, I'm not gonna lie, like Tekashi 6ix9ine especially is like one of those individuals that I really was trying to understand and trying to like see like what do the youth see in this dude? Like, he's a troll.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I opened my eyes and I just started paying more attention to social media, like that troll shit is what got him famous. Like that's the new way.
Oh no, yeah.
I mean, and 50, look at 50 Cent. He's the fucking troll of IG. Like, he controls IG on that.
You see what he did to Ja Rule?
Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to our last episode 39, clout chasing.
Yo.
We talked about all of this shit.
Yo.
All of this shit.
If y'all don't know, y'all need to go see what 50 did to Ja Rule, man. This man, he bought 200 seats.
Yeah.
Petty.
But that's money in Ja's pocket.
It is though.
It is.
But it's
It's. Do you want that money though? If you Ja?
like, how do you feel?
Yeah.
Because
I
that's
don't-
like blood money in a way.
I know.
You feel what I'm saying?
A little bit.
It's just disrespect.
I mean, I guess if you're gonna come for the juggler, I guess I should make something off.
I think at some point though, for me, you there's some shit you gotta let go. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's fair.
but
Yeah.
I feel in one way it's like, you know what, I'm gonna keep the same energy regardless. I'm gonna come at his juggler every single time.
Yeah.
But it's like for me, it's like, oh, that's just like a lot of extra time that I'm giving to somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, as a culture, we brought it on ourselves because the game is very competitive. It's like Pusha said on Joe Budden's podcast, and that's the one thing that I agreed with him on versus what Drake said. That Drake is like, man, there's boundaries, there's limits, there's what did he say? His specific words were about saying things in a beef.
When there's not, but that's where I disagreed with him on. But
With Drake?
Yeah,
I disagreed as well. And Pusha was like, man, there is no rule. There's no rule.
Yeah.
There's no rules. So I think it applies to on wax. I think 50 is a very intelligent person. As petty as that was, that shit was savage as fuck.
But but he's competing with Ja Rule.
Right. I know. I get. I get it. I get it. But I mean, but it really goes to show, like, Ja Rule really just do some snitchy shit back in the day for you to really hold on to this. But also at the same time, 50's smart. He's also doing something like this for clout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's gaining attention. He's marketing. Why is 50 this way? Then you're going to Google 50. Then his name is going to be put into the algorithm when you search his name. Then when you pull up his name, you're going to see different products that he represents. He's going to end up making money.
Yeah.
It's genius.
He stays relevant.
He stays relevant.
Yeah.
You see
That's
what I'm
all
saying?
it's about, relevancy.
You see what I'm saying? And that's why 50 that's why he did the song with Tekashi. That's why he did the video with Tekashi. He did Instagram videos with him. Because
Not even relevant. He stays in people's ears.
Yeah, but he doesn't need it though.
Actually,
Not fair.
But it's
actually,
publicity. It's money.
if you know how the current age is, wow, really? Mom's calling me right now.
Shout out to mom.
Hi, Mom.
She's probably like watching this, like, why are you cursing so much? I'm gonna call you back, Mom. I promise. So the thing that we have to realize with 50 as well is his entire reason, and I guess you could say his reach to stardom was from dissing Ja Rule.
Yeah.
So if you really, like you said, if you really want to play the game correctly, when you talk about social media and when you talk about how everything is connected in the algorithm, if you look at what he's doing, it's basically forcing people to keep him in their mouth, pause, and allow them to continue to talk about him. And then when you say, well, why is he going after Ja Rule? Then people dig deeper, especially the young generation. They do research.
No, they don't.
Realize.
Sorry, not all of them.
Some of them
Sorry.
do though.
I'm sorry, young generation.
Even if they don't, what happens is if you go through the comments, because I do this, I see when he posts shit. Just out of curiosity, I go through the comments and I look.
Yeah.
I got this from my wife, by the way. I look through the comments and I say, yeah, let me see what people are saying. Let me see what's out there.
Yeah.
Just to see, because sometimes I'm just trying to see how ignorant people are.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'm just really trying to see, well, let's get these different perspectives. And so you see where like somebody from our generation posts like, dang, he won't let this go. You know what I'm saying? He's still talking about Ja Rule, da da da.
Yeah,
and then you see a youngin' chime in like, yo, what happened with Ja Rule? And then the conversation starts. So whether they do the research or not, it's in front of their face. And when you do that, the relevancy just continues.
Yeah.
And it builds that momentum. And like you know what I'm saying, the homie Ryan was saying, it just keeps him relevant.
Yeah.
Can I say this though?
Yeah.
As we continue this conversation, we're some nerds.
Yeah.
We are really some hip hop nerds.
And ladies and gentlemen,
I love it.
that is why we are the former Millennials Podcast.
we are some hip hop nerds.
We are some nerds, man. But that's what the people want to hear.
Yeah.
That's why they chime in.
Yeah.
Once again, y'all, just a quick recap. If you're tuning in just now, if you're catching up what this is about, this is our season opener. It's a live webcast. If you don't know who I am, if this is your first time, I am your boy Pablo the Canadian.
I'm your boy Duchala, the king of Wakanda.
This chap over here who's slightly inebriated is
Producer Chris.
Is producer Chris. We have another guest. He's not quite on camera, but his voice is heard. We got the homie Ryan over there.
All right, I can get up if you want.
Nah, you good,
Sure.
man.
Sure.
We are the former Millennials Podcast, and we'll let you guys know if you have any questions, if you want to ask us anything, please feel free to do so. Real quick, I wanted to make sure that I make mention of this. The homie Wayne did say something. I think he's still on watching. It goes back to what had happened with killing in Philly. He said, "How do you feel about the suspect getting captured after killing law enforcement and civilians versus a black man getting killed for next to nothing as far as a level of crime?"
So I'll say this. Really, it's status quo, man.
Mhm.
That's just, unfortunately, that's just what happens.
Yeah.
I don't have any feelings on it anymore.
Yeah.
Because I'm so numb to it now.
Yep.
You know, because that's just the way it goes. From, I don't even know the dude's name, and I don't want to know his name.
Right.
That killed the 9 in South Carolina.
Yep.
Who they treated him to Burger King.
Who?
You know, I mean, no, we're not putting his name out.
Cool.
Nope.
Gotcha.
No,
You ain't getting that from us.
Nope, not from
You're right.
us.
You're right.
Sorry.
You're right.
Mm-mm. But yeah, man, you see it all the time, and it only happens with us.
Yeah.
With us.
What's up, Eric? See you,
You
brother.
know, unfortunately, so honestly, like how I feel, I'm just numb inside to it.
And
man.
another thing as well is that I have this conversation with a lot of people who are naive to certain things, where they go, the world is getting worse, and we understand that black people are being killed by cops, and it just seems to get more and more worse. And I'm like, no, it's not getting worse. It's been happening.
Yeah.
It's just now you're starting to realize the things that we have been telling you for 50, 60 years, that cops are going out and killing young black men. It's just now there's a camera behind it.
Oh yeah,
It's just-
we have 24 access to news.
The
we have
content is
Twitter,
there.
Facebook.
You see what I'm saying?
Instagram.
And so it's yeah, to your point, yeah, it's from our perspective, we're numb to it. And we've had this conversation before, and you and I have talked about it, where our responsibility for doing this show, besides talking about hip hop, besides talking about a lot of things that we talk about, mental health, and things of that nature, is we want to break stereotypes. We want to have the conversation about why certain viewpoints about black culture, black people, and especially black males, that image needs to change. Is that for an example, when it comes to talking about being in a car, getting pulled over by a cop, I have to use my privilege, I hate to say it like this, as a light-skinned brother, because unfortunately, a lot of the times it seems as if the darker you are, the more likely you are to get roughed up, more likely you are to get that attention.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel for dude. And although we may joke about our skin complexion, it's unfortunate that cops more likely will feel more intimidated by him than they will me.
And I'm 5'6", y'all.
You see what I'm saying? And it's funny because you would think that your height or your weight would have something to do with it, but dude is he's a 5'6", stocky African dude with a beard, and he's bald and he's dark skinned. Like that alone, a lot of people will find him intimidating.
And they check me twice.
Yeah, they're not
when I
quite
go to
sure.
the airport. Oh my god. Let's not even get there.
And they're not going to do
with
that.
the name and then beard.
Right, and they're not going to do that with me simply. And I'm 5'11". I'm now 210, 207, and I'm light skinned. And it's unfortunate that I'm not going to get that as much attention because he's just simply darker than me. But that's why we do the show, is we take our words, we use the privileges that we have to combat that level of racism and prejudice and kind of break it. And so, but again, those kinds of issues that we have, it's nothing new. It's really nothing new. And it's unfortunate that we are numb to it, because we shouldn't be, but we are. It's just now the reality of the world is now on your phone and you can see it. So I Wayne, how we feel about it? Man, again, we're numb to it, dude. Like, it's unfortunate. Like, shit is still fucked up. But I will say this. It's going to get more real. It's going to get a little worse before it gets better. I hate to say it.
Definitely.
It's definitely going to get a lot worse. However, any important and detrimental change, things have to get worse before they get better. They have to. I hate to say it. That is just the natural order of things. I don't know what worse means, but it's going to get worse.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's, to me, people tend to treat people a little bit better that look like them. And when law enforcement, when they're the majority, they're white men, and they're capturing somebody who's a white man, they're going to see themselves in that person. They're going to see their dad in that person,
right,
their brother in that person,
right,
compared to somebody who has to be of Latinx descent, Hispanic descent, or of African American descent. You're just like, you're an other. I don't care what I do to you. I can't see myself in you. You know what I'm saying? So,
clarification, we're not talking about all white people.
Yes,
that's another thing. Another thing that we have a lot of conversations about is that we're not generalizing and putting all ethnic groups into one specific category.
But intelligent people get that, though.
No, they do. They do. But it's a disclaimer that you have to put out there.
Thank you. Yeah,
especially
right.
when it comes to race relations, when it comes to politics, is you kind of have to put that out there. But go ahead. I just wanted to throw that out there.
No. But that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
It's just, we tend, not we, I'm just saying stupid people, tend to only empathize with people that look like them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately. And, to answer the question again, I'm just numb to it.
Yeah.
But we have another question, though.
Yeah.
Yo, so CT Cook.
Shout out Courtney.
Shout out to Courtney. So what are your thoughts on the Black Leadership Summit going on at the White House? If you're unfamiliar, it's young Black Trump supporters. Well, damn.
Yeah.
So I know about that.
Yeah, I saw that on social media a little bit. I know they've been talking about this for a while. It looks like it finally went down. Quite honestly, I think Black folks in particular, there's a good amount of us who've always been conservative, have had conservative leanings. I'm a registered Democrat. I've voted pretty much Democrat since I've been able to vote. I do have some conservative viewpoints, not really many at all. But it's I think though it's pandering to a very low, the way that they're pandering right now to get Trump's attention, because you can be that special snowflake, that one who just bucks against the system and says, you know what, 95% of Black women voted for Hillary, and what was it, maybe 80%, 88%, 90% of Black men voted for Hillary, and there's that small percentage that voted for Trump. We're that small percentage, and we want to be special snowflakes.
We want to be heard.
We want to be heard, exactly. Yeah. But my thing is, they don't realize, for me, this is just my perspective, it seems like they're just being used for the optics 100%. At the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Kanye.
And this is one way that Trump and this administration can say, well, I'm not racist. Look, I showed up to this event with these colored folks. You know what I'm saying? So, but it sucks.
Look, at the end of the day, I have to, if the Black Leadership Summit, the key word is leadership, okay? So the key word is leadership. And when you are then putting yourself in a position to have a discussion, be in a round table with another quote unquote leader, and that leader does not have your best interest as a Black person in this country to heart, therein lies the problem.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Whether your intent is to try to persuade, or you believe in Trump, or as Kanye says, try to show love, towards Trump, I guess, to convince him otherwise, to change his mindset, to see the positivity in him. I get it. You want to hope and pray that the leader of the free world is successful, right? Because if he succeeds, we all succeed. The problem is that we're correlating that level of success to what as an individual, as a Black person in this country, I am Black, not holistic black people, but just me and my version of success aligns with Trump's level of success. Yeah, but Trump's level of success and his viewpoint of success doesn't align with yours.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You're thinking, okay, I'm a Trump supporter because I support him. I want him to be successful. And these group of people here beside me also want him to be successful. Yeah, but you guys want him to be successful. He doesn't want you to be successful.
Exactly.
He's not saying that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, where's the evidence of that?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, so someone told me, recently, the guy that they arrested for sending out those bombs to Clintons and Obama and Robert De Niro, I think he was either Hispanic or he was Native American. I think he was Native American. And they were saying how someone said, well, I think one guy said, I was reading somewhere, well, I'm glad it wasn't a black dude that did that because it would have been even worse. And I'm thinking to myself, and there was other comments where someone said, actually, yeah, it would be worse because it would show the level of poison that this administration has on the minds of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
it's a Native American had a vehicle lined with Trump advertisements and pictures. Like, he was heavily supported. He was heavily conservative.
Yeah.
MAGA hats, everything. He's Native American.
Yeah. Don't forget
It's the level of poison,
the
man.
targets that he had on the Democratic leadership.
They were all Democrat.
Yeah.
All of them. And it just shows the level of poison that this administration has. And that's not an emotional response. I'm just looking at the facts.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying?
There
Like,
you
it's not. I don't feel like Trump doesn't support me. I know he doesn't.
Exactly.
These are not my words. These are his words.
His actions.
These are his actions. These are the things that he's doing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, to Courtney's point, I'm hoping they have an ulterior motive for what they're doing, maybe to convince Trump to kind of change his ways. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
But if they're just supporters for the sake of supporting because they believe in conservative views,
yeah.
it's not a good level.
But like, look at the people though who they had guest speaking at this leadership summit. It was Ben Carson and it was Stacey Dash.
Don't
Bruh. Bruh, like
Sorry.
when I'm looking at black conservatives, for me, my pinnacle is Colin Powell. Like when I'm just like, if I wanted anybody to come speak at a black conservative leadership summit, Colin Powell would be my first person.
Shout out to Colin Powell. He's a yard man. He's West Indian.
Yes,
by the
sir.
way.
Yes, sir.
Put that out there. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
man. But nah, yeah. But so this thing was trash from the beginning.
Yeah.
From the people that you selected to come speak to you.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So no, man. I mean, it's trash. It's funny. I don't know, man. I just wish like certain people that have a lot of clout on social media, i.e., the Shade Room. Like, there's no point in amplifying this. And I know they're not saying. I know they're not doing it to say, yo, I want to get this more pub, but unintentionally is getting more pub because they're posting it.
Right.
You don't have to post it. You don't have to talk about it.
I think people have a level of responsibility when they have. I think, like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, like, World Star is slightly different than the way it was before Q passed away.
Yeah, I
unfollowed.
Like,
that.
World Star is still a level of entertainment, and I'll chime in on certain things. Like, I'll look at certain views or certain videos that they have, or they're talking about certain subjects, but they do some ratchet shit.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, World Star is just they're showing videos of basically the way the world is. But they have a social responsibility to, when you're projecting certain images and videos, people are persuaded by what they see,
right,
and they take it as knowledge and they take it as facts.
right.
And that's and for the audience to let y'all know, typically we don't go too in depth with politics, simply because politics is like a lot of other things in this world. There's a lot of information we just don't know.
Yeah.
So we end up arguing about things that we're not privy to fully. But when it comes to underlining factors,
Yep.
This is how I had this conversation yesterday, where I started following certain details, right? And so, and you can go back in the course of history. Again, these are not my facts. If you go back and we'll say the last 50 years, okay, 50, 60 years, and you start looking at a lot of the mass murderers that are in this country, right? We'll say even the last 25 years. You can go back and find out what their political views are.
Pretty much.
They're pretty much Republican.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing that I have as well is that when you start looking at incidences that have happened in this country and you need to make a political choice, both Democratic and Republicans both believe in the same thing. This is America. We must move America forward. We must do this, that, and the third. It's America, America, America. Great. You're a patriot. Awesome. You're a traditionalist. You believe in the American economy. You believe in the American standpoint, equality, whatever the case may be. So you're a Republican. And I noticed that people in this country treat politics like they do sports.
Yeah.
Right? You could be on a losing team. You'll still support that losing team.
Yep.
Right? I get it. That's the college you went to.
Ride or die.
Ride or die. I get it.
Yep.
But here you are, you're a Republican. And deep down, you know that this Republican does not doesn't
align
or uphold
Yes.
with the policies that you believe that you need. But this
Yes.
Democrat does
policies with your morals.
with your morals. This Democrat does, but you're not going to choose Democrat because, well, you're a red, you're a Republican.
That's because that's the other team.
So that's the other team.
Yep.
So you're trying to tell me that you're an American, you believe in America, and you want America to move forward, but you're not going to choose blue because you're on the red team? It's not about teams.
It's ridiculous. Man.
Well, there's one thing. Hold on, before you say anything. There's one thing I need a lot of people to understand. Okay, I get it. There are going to be differences in policies between what a Democrat believes and what a Republican believes. I get that. I completely understand. But if you're going to sit back and be like, okay, we're all Americans, right? But I'm going to choose red over blue because that's just what I do. Okay, so America is an eagle and it has two wings. Are the wings attached to the bird or are they not?
Mm.
So if the right wing or the left wing tries to flap in different directions, what happens to the bird? It falls.
Wow.
If you want the country to move forward, you need to choose a side, choose the American side. Stop choosing colors.
Yep.
There's one thing I don't understand is when I look at people and I say, and I have this conversation a lot, where they go, well, marijuana is illegal and I think it needs to stay illegal. It's just, it's not the Christian thing to do. Where in the Bible does it say you can't smoke weed? Yeah. And hold on, because I'm about to go in.
That's a whole other tale.
No, let me go in, because I'm about to go in. I need to do this.
Yo, Pop is in his politics bag.
Let me
He is just in his
let
bag right now.
Let me go in, because for thousands of years, people that look like us were smoking weed. The Chinese were smoking weed. It was for medicinal purposes.
Bring it down.
Okay, it's been around for 3,000 or 4,000 years. Okay, it wasn't until the Nixon administration realized that people of color who called it cannabis, not marijuana, right, deemed it a different term, and then claimed it as a Class A drug. Class A drug means that it's considered more hostile and deadly than opioids, cocaine, and heroin combined.
Yeah.
Okay? Another thing as well. Currently, we're in a prohibition era.
Yep.
That's kind of where we are. Okay? Alcohol became legal because they could tax it.
Yeah.
Okay? You had cats like the Rockefellers. Okay? Who were making money off of it. That's how the Rockefellers got their money. Once they taxed it, the Rockefellers got to keep their money. The only thing that wasn't being grown in this country was marijuana. It was being grown elsewhere. And when foreigners were bringing it across the border, they realized they couldn't tax something that wasn't being made here. Right.
Mm.
So what did they end up doing?
They demonized it.
They demonized it, and the people who were using it, where did they end up? In prison.
Yep. For life. Well, which our judicial system is really, really out of whack.
Way out of whack.
And the fact that a person of color can go to prison for selling, maybe let's just say, a moderate to small amount of marijuana. Go to prison for life, compared to a white person, whether man or female, who commits a crime of, say, like murder, mass murder, won't get life though. Will get like, say, 50-something years. I.e., this one person, the one individuals sending the bombs, whether they were real or fake, supposedly the sentencing is upwards up to 50-something years. So, which is crazy, and going back, if you look back at some documentaries, if you look back at history books, you'll see what politicians or people of prominence in that time said about what happens when people of color, especially men of color, smoke marijuana, is that they become violent. They will sexually assault your women.
What?
All these different
All
things.
these different things.
If you go back and see like
Falsities, man.
how not just how marijuana was demonized, but the fact that people of color who use marijuana were demonized.
75% of black people who are in prison is for possession.
Yeah.
There's more.
Not even intent to distribute.
Right. And private institutions are the ones that are controlling these prisons.
Yeah.
It's basically free slave labor.
Yeah.
So they're making money.
Reaganomics.
What's the average cost? About $32,000
Yeah.
Yes.
Something about there. Yeah.
This was
per conviction in prison. So there is a system in place.
Reaganomics, man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
what started all of
a
this.
majority of Democrats are for the legalization of marijuana.
Yeah.
These are facts, people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not making this shit up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yo,
I'm
shout
not.
out to your home country though, Canada.
So I was
man.
just about to say thank you
Legalized.
Shout out.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like what, 2 weeks ago?
to my
Yeah.
fellow Canucks. They have legalized it. There's projections that they're going to make just over $1 billion before the year is over.
In the midst of all the bullshit that's going on in our country, the beacon of light that is Canada has done something amazing for the people.
So that's going to open up. Not only is it going to open up more doors, but it's going to create more jobs.
Yeah.
It's going to help boost the economy.
Yeah.
The industry itself, I think it's Tilray is going to end up utilizing marijuana 4 different ways. Both they're going to try to legalize it for turning it into alcohol, both for consumption and for burning for vehicles. Smoking. Hemp can also be woven into clothing. It can also be used as a topical ointment. I have a family member who is dealing with Crohn's disease. CBD oil can actually help towards the suppression and or possible healing. There's no scientific evidence behind it,
Yeah.
but marijuana is being used for medicinal purposes for most of the world's diseases for the last 2,000 years anyway.
Yep.
So, and on top of that, for an anxiety sufferer like myself, there's nothing better for it.
Yeah.
I'm currently on sertraline. I'm on meds. I don't want to be on them. I would rather be on CBD.
Yeah, man.
Or if anything, once it goes legal, I'm going to be smoking that shit.
Yeah, you gotta be careful though, like with what's out here.
Yeah.
Because as I was telling you all at the beginning of the podcast, I was in Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh,
I
man.
had some green in
Straight
Jamaica.
Yes, the man that
Pure.
When I tell you the most
Yes,
pure like high
amazing.
that I've ever been on, and I don't care if I'm incriminating myself right now.
Yeah.
Who
You
gives
were on
a fuck?
vacation.
You were in
But-
Jamaica,
Yeah.
where it's
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, but nah, man, like you know, we bought it. It was on the beach. You know, nobody cares there. You know, you'll smell it. You know, nobody. You know, it's part, not necessarily part of the culture, but it's something that's not looked down upon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But going back to what I was saying, like, you know, being careful with what you purchase here in the States compared to, you know, what I had in the Caribbean, man, it's totally different, bro.
It's different. And that's
Totally
the thing and that's the misconception is that now a lot of people are mixing marijuana with a lot of other chemicals. It's causing,
Jesus.
that's just the natural order of things. People are always going to look to modify something. But you know, you just have to be wise and be smart about it. But again, for those out there, please, when it comes to your political views, when it comes to facts, when it comes to truths, when it comes to voting, especially with Stacey Abrams and Kemp, please do your research.
Yeah.
Stop choosing off of emotions. Even if you're a Democrat and you want to choose Republican, I don't know why,
Yeah.
but if that's what you feel like you want to do, let it be based on facts. Stop choosing colors. These are not college teams.
Yeah, that's what
It's
got
for the
us.
betterment of your local
That's what
government.
got us our current president.
Yeah.
It's all emotions.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. I know I want the economy to boost. I want I want to build a border or build a wall and fuck all that. Any wall that's being
Look at the
built,
facts, man.
look at the facts.
Yeah.
Stop looking at emotions. Just because you don't want another Obama in office, that's why you chose Trump. That's why his approval ratings are going down. These are facts.
Yeah, man.
There's a reason.
Yo.
You made the wrong choice.
Can we? I just want to say this because I know this is happening, and I don't want to continue to harp on politics though.
Yeah.
But the fact that what's happening in our state of Georgia
Mm.
with voter suppression and especially
man.
voter suppression to people of color is disgusting. That's probably the nicest word I can use right now.
And the
It's
dude,
disgusting.
dude who's running the voters registration.
He's a Secretary of State. He's running for governor.
He's running for governor. He's
Yes.
the guy that runs it. These are facts.
Yeah, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah, man. The fact. So you're gonna tell me that I can't vote in this next election because I didn't vote in the last couple of elections.
Come on, man.
Really? That's
Straight.
why I can't vote now. That's why you're throwing out my registration because I didn't vote in the last couple elections. Come on, man.
I love it.
Yo, I just know this though. I'm rooting for Stacey. I'll say this right now.
We wish you, Stacey.
Yeah, but if she loses, I really hope that she sues.
Absolutely.
I hope
Oh,
that she
she
sues.
should.
Good call.
Yeah.
You hear it first, y'all. If it happens, we call you.
That would change the trajectory of politics in the South altogether. If she does that, or if she wins, we have, ladies and gentlemen,
A blue state?
a blue state, a new South.
Hey, sir.
You see what I did there?
Oh.
That's a new South.
New.
Because we know what the new South means
Oh man.
to the racist people
Yeah.
out there. But I'm talking about a whole real new South.
Yeah.
You know? So that's where we at.
Well, real quick, guys, it's about 7:30. We got about 30 minutes left. We got any questions?
Yeah, Eric, he didn't have a question, but he brought up a good point.
Hey, that's my homie Eric, by the way. I gotta shout him out real quick.
Shout him out.
Eric, he's one of my coworkers. He's a great dude. He's a car head. Shout out to him and his family. I gotta show him some love real quick because I opened up to him about a month ago about my anxiety and depression, and he did me one real good. He invited me out to Dunwoody Baptist Church to take part in a men's focus group at 6 a.m. Friday mornings.
Well, I'm already up there.
But Eric is one of those people, of the many people that I have love and consideration for, respect for, who have supported me during my struggles. Eric has made a conscious effort.
Shout out to Eric.
And
Shout out to
I also meet with him and Bill, another guy that I met at the men's focus group. We meet up every Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. at Chick-fil-A, and both these gentlemen take the time to understand me and understand what I'm going through. And I appreciate y'all. I got nothing but love for you guys. Blessings upon y'all. But Eric is that guy.
Salute.
Yeah. So one day we need to have him on the show. He's got a lot to talk about. He's a good dude.
Yeah, we need more of that, man. More of that support. You know what I'm saying?
We do. We're gonna diversify this time too.
Yeah.
This season we're gonna diversify. We're gonna have some different faces.
Well, now let's not just say different faces though. Too, we also need to have some different thoughts,
Thoughts,
as
points of
well,
views.
too. Yeah, because I don't mind getting messy. You know what I'm saying?
Eric's that guy.
We'll argue.
Eric's that guy.
We'll keep it respectful.
Eric,
You know what I'm saying?
Eric can disagree respectfully.
Yeah,
He'll disagree. We won't be on the same page, but he'll dap you up and show you love.
that's what's up.
And that's why.
That's
What's up.
Eric is that
That's
guy.
productive.
So we'll do
Yeah.
that. So for the next 30 minutes, man, we want to spend some time, guys, to kind of just jump into some nerd shit.
Yes, man.
Let's go in because there's
Can
a
we
lot going on.
can we talk about Castlevania?
Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Yo.
Yo.
I think we started. Was it our first episode, or maybe one of our? No, maybe episode 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think it was the third one we brought up Castlevania.
Yeah, when we talked about, we gave our Castlevania review. What it was like last season was like, I want to say 4 episodes, but they're back now.
They are back. And for those who don't know, Castlevania is an anime list of episodes or a show on Netflix, but it derives from the Castlevania
video game.
video game that came out on PlayStation, PC, sometime even Nintendo. I'm sorry, before then, Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
So Castlevania is really, really good. But go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No. I was just saying, man, I'm very, very excited for this new season. I know you and I talked about it last year when we first started this podcast about how much we enjoyed that show.
Oh, it was so
and
good.
now the fact that it's back, like,
It was so good.
I'm pretty much going to devote maybe a weekend to just binging it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Straight
Same
up.
way I feel about One Punch Man. If season 2 ever comes back out, but
Yeah.
Castlevania is super dope. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, what you think about Daredevil so far? I'm only halfway into episode 1 of season 3.
So I'm gonna be honest. I stopped watching it.
Did you?
Same
What
here.
season?
Not season 2. Not because I didn't like it. It was just a lot, especially within the last few months. Like I had cut out a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I tried to change everything, and I just lost. Like I did that with Flash.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't that it was bad. It was just I was devoted to watching it. It's just unfortunately the way my mind works. It's just when I'm stuck on one thing and something new comes up, I can't multitask.
I stopped watching Flash too.
You know what I mean? And again, shout out to Flash, great show, one of the best DC shows out. It's just I couldn't keep it going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't really especially now with what's happening with Marvel on Netflix.
Yeah.
Everything's
Slowly but
getting
surely.
good.
So they add Black Panther only to take it away in the next couple.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's because of Disney.
Yeah,
Marvel
that's what
streaming
I'm saying.
service.
It's just funny how that works. So one of the shows that I've been indulging in, and it's kind of, I guess I really can't say indulging because I'm only watching one episode, but my wife she's not a big horror film like person. She'll watch the show with me, but The Haunting of Hill House.
How is
I
it?
heard that's good.
How is it?
The first episode is amazing.
Is it scary?
You know,
Or is it
it's
more
funny.
like, is it good
It's-
writing?
No, it's scary.
Okay.
And it's so the new horror is disturbing. Okay.
Yeah.
So if
Pretty
it can
much.
disturb you, then that's the new way of scaring you.
Is it worse than the Human Centipede?
It's a different. So the Human Centipede, for all the people out there,
Y'all so nasty.
I'm gonna make him give you the synopsis of that movie.
So
it's not. I would
Google
not.
it,
So
please.
hold on. So
I googled that joint. We had okay.
So hold on,
cross reference a text conversation we had.
Right. Well, before you do that, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you do your thing.
Yeah.
I can't take credit. The person who put me onto it was that motherfucker right there.
Come on.
Ryan is the one that put me onto the Human
Ryan,
Centipede.
you're nasty too.
You put me onto
You
that shit.
Somebody put me on.
Ah,
That's who it was.
Pass
Oh
the
my
book.
God, bro.
Pass the
Let's keep going in circles.
I forgot the name of the person, but
Right.
hey, somebody put me on.
Do you want to give him the gist or you want me to?
Nah, man, I don't.
Let him do it. He's a
Yeah, you got it.
So the gist of the Human Centipede is essentially, I guess there's a group of kids or a group of people that end up going to this house, and there's a doctor there, and basically what he does is he experiments on them, and he sews their mouths to the rectum of the person in front of them. And they're basically trying to escape and get out of the house, walking around like a centipede while their
All fours.
mouths, and if they need to eat, you can pretty much get an idea of how they eat. Yeah, so
very disturbing.
very disturbing. Yeah, things have,
To go along with what I was just saying.
yeah.
But no, so that's the new thing. And it didn't really hit me until I saw the movie Hereditary. You heard of that joint?
Nah,
I've heard of that.
So Hereditary, I kind of saw it on a whim on I think it's on somebody's Chromecast or something.
Yeah.
And very disturbing movie. But what it basically, without giving you the entire story, is it starts off with this family. And the family, the wife's her mother passes,
Mhm.
and at her funeral, you see all this strange shit going on. Like you see people doing these certain nuances and all this shit,
Mhm.
and you come to find out that the grandmother is actually involved in this satanic group of people who are basically trying to utilize her family to bring back this spirit demon and put him into human form.
Gotcha.
And when I tell you this movie is probably more disturbing than The Exorcist from a standpoint of demonology and all of that. I mean, it takes shit in a whole other perspective, and it makes you look at these things like, yo, this is really like something that somebody said and thought about.
Yeah.
And that's what disturbs you. It's like, yo, people really have these kind of conversations, and this is a real thing in society. So that's what got me with that movie. I was just like, yo, this is really sick.
And that's where and that's why when I watched, I went and saw the recent Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it was classic horror. Like I enjoyed it.
Jump scares.
Huh?
You like the jump scares and stuff.
A little bit of
Okay.
jump, but it was a little predictable because when you watch
Yeah.
movies like that, you kind of
you
get an idea when it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I like it because it was Mike Myers and it's classic, and I like it because they've had a lot of Halloweens, but the other Halloweens were like alternative stories.
Yeah.
Whereas this one was a sequel to the first one that came out in '79.
So I heard they
So-
actually
Go ahead.
they show Michael Myers' face, right? A little bit.
A
That's what I
little
heard.
bit. Like it's not like how I can see
Yeah.
you, but you kind of get an idea.
Yeah.
But it's the way it ends, you're gonna be like, what?
Yeah.
So I'll just let you watch it.
Have y'all read the synopsis for what the plot's gonna be for the new Chucky?
No.
Yeah, so they're dropping a new Chucky, and basically with it, Chucky it's gonna be a doll, but it's created through a computer program. And what happens is somehow there's a flaw in the program,
Mhm.
and the Chucky doll now has basically it becomes a living creature, just kind of like
Like
AI, like AI.
Okay.
Yeah, but it has evil intents.
But
Evil
that's, what they, see,
intentions.
that's what they did in the last one, in the Cult of Chucky.
Did they? So I didn't watch that.
I don't want to.
Not really.
Well, no, not to that extent with science, but
right.
like because Chucky's is a soul of a real person.
Right.
It's an evil soul of a real person.
In the toy store, the fucking the guy that got away from what happened?
So what happened was that
the
one of the guys one of the guys got away and he kept the head of the original Chucky.
Right.
Right. And so but what ended up happening is that the soul of Chucky had been passed on to other Chuckies. And so basically what he wanted to do is he wanted to go to where they were and kill off those other Chuckies and to prevent Chucky from being able to possess another Chucky. But in this instance, he ended up possessing a human being.
Oh, I was going back further.
And it ended up being a woman.
I was going back to the OG.
Oh, you talking about the OG?
The OG.
Oh,
You said what happened?
Yeah, the OG in the original joint.
Yeah.
So there was this criminal or whatever. He was on the run and he got caught up in this toy store. And I guess the cops got him and they shot him. And he was just about to die. And he did some kind of seance. The doll was right there.
Yeah.
And basically was able to
Transition his spirit
into the doll.
Now, what's dope is in the most recent one where they reenacted that, they give you a little bit more filler to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is kind of like, you kind of figure it out, but the most recent one kind of gives you a little bit more backstory on it, so it tailor fits it, and you're like, damn, that shit does kind of sound kind of eerie and weird. Yeah. Because in the OG, it was kind of just like you gotta it left a bunch of stuff open to kind of people's minds and how they were gonna look at it.
I really like the concept though with this one because it makes it a lot more relevant.
Yep.
With a computer program just
going from that
right.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
So I probably won't see it, but I like the story though, and I like where they're going with this though.
Makes sense.
So I'll say that.
On the other news, big Marvel news. There's always big Marvel news. You seen the new suit for Far From Home?
Yes.
I like that.
I do. I'm a black and red.
The black and red is
it's
fire,
beautiful.
Yeah.
And then, if we really want to get real nerdy, so what comic does that stem
The black and red?
I don't know.
Scarlet?
Is it
This one
Scarlet?
is good.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Come on, man. It's Ben Reilly's suit.
Ben Reilly.
It's not Ben Reilly. It's not Ben Reilly's first suit.
Yeah.
It's Scarlet. Well, they actually have it in the new Spider-Man game. Y'all need to go check out that Spider-Man game, by the way. I'm just putting it out there.
I'm seeing some clips.
Shit is fire, especially on the new 4K I got over there. You know.
Speaking of, we will
We'll
definitely check
divulge in that later. Anyway, or indulge in that
y'all ain't
later.
gonna see that.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But real quick, so yes, it's a Scarlet Spider suit is where it comes from.
Yeah.
It's Ben Reilly's suit, which is dope. And I think the reason they did that was I don't think anybody's gonna do a Clone Saga. I would like them to do a Clone Saga in the movies, but I just don't think it'll go that far.
They're not. I think what's gonna happen though, Into the Spider-Verse that's coming out later this year.
That I can see.
With Miles. I think they're probably gonna get into that a little bit.
I hope, or at least not in this movie, but in the future.
Yeah.
The only thing is that which they probably won't align with the storyline, but when the 4 Miles came around is when the Clone Saga happened.
Yep.
And it wasn't it wasn't until when Miles came around that's when Peter lost his powers.
Yep.
And then Kane showed up and Ben Reilly showed up and all that. But yeah, I mean that would be dope. But I like the suit. Big things are happening. There was an announcement made that the Eternals will start 2020 alongside of Black Widow. Yep. Excited about that.
I'm not. So, unpopular opinion, I'm not excited about Black Widow though.
I'm sorry, I disagree because Scarlett Johansson and I share the same birthday.
Oh, okay.
So
if that's the reason you're riding, that's fine.
Wifey.
Well, I was just gonna say.
Okay.
Baby, I promise.
Promise you, it's just the birthday. Just the
That's
birthday.
it. But it's just interesting. Shut up.
It's
It's just interesting that we do share the same birthday.
Yeah.
I actually think they're gonna figure out a way, dude, because they understand there's people like you and like Paul that are like, you know what? Why do I want to know this? Why do I want to see this? They're gonna find a way to tailor fit this and tie it in, either with the scrolls and the Kree or something to make this relevant.
But even that, not even go that in depth. It's just people want to see female superheroes. Plain and simple.
I don't know, but the thing is though, Doc, I'm be honest though, I don't think they want to see this one. Wonder Woman.
No.
Yes.
It'll work.
Captain Marvel, yes. Storm, if they ever come out with a Storm solo film,
I will agree. I will
And then
agree.
give me a Black Panther feature.
I agree, but disagree. And the reason I say that is I disagree because Black Widow's not like every other female superhero. What you need to understand is that she's the original super soldier.
but that's not gonna sell me though.
It
It's not gonna sell me, a nerd, a Marvel nerd. That's not gonna sell me to go see the film.
But the thing is,
okay,
hold on. But everybody loves Civil War, right?
Right.
So, and I always point this out, and only we saw it. But do y'all remember when Black Widow and Winter Soldier? Well, actually, it was the Winter Soldier. It wasn't Civil War. It was Winter Soldier. When they were fighting, and they were at Shield.
Yep.
And Winter Soldier grabbed her, slammed her on the table, and she goes, "So you're not going to recognize me?"
Oh shit.
That was in reference to when they met back in the freaking 30s.
Yeah.
So and to our audience and to just in general, like Marvel is their attention to detail is uncanny.
Unmatched.
And we have like a IG thread where we literally like just share different posts. And I've been seeing a lot of posts lately that are cross-referencing movies that came out 6 years ago that have a relevancy to specific
Right now.
situations right now.
Right
And that
now.
shit is crazy to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is so impressive because that means that Marvel's been trolling us for an entire 10-year period.
Yo, shout out to Kevin Feige.
Feige and
who's
Russo
the
brothers.
mastermind
Feige has
of
a
this
lot
all
to
this
do with
shit.
that.
That man, hey, and I'll be honest with you, if Feige didn't take a chance
Yeah.
on Ryan, Black Panther would not be what it is.
Yeah.
True.
Feige, this is the first time Feige was like, okay, I'll let you.
Yep.
It's the only one of the Marvel films where he
Right.
just stood back, was like, go ahead.
And he gambled, and look what happened.
And he turned out to be his second highest grossing Marvel film.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So Feige,
Shout out to you.
look, I know there's a lot of black people out here that be like, man, damn, I can't fuck with white people. They can't make the right decisions. This is one of those things where they made the right decision.
Yes.
Feige trusted us.
Salute.
I'll show some love to Kevin Feige because he
Yes.
was like, all right, go ahead. And look what happened.
Yep.
So yeah, Marvel, and to your point, Marvel does have, and that's one of the Easter eggs that I was talking about, is that's one of the attention to details that I caught that. And I was like, I'm glad they did that. And that's why I think Black Widow will be successful because of that. Because none of this, before Hulk, before Captain America, before the Winter Soldier, she was the original. That's why when they said, when the leader of the S.H.I.E.L.D. was like, you sure you want to do this? It's going to expose all your secrets. It'll show that she's been around for almost 100 years.
Man, also,
It's just that her serum wore off.
if they make, I don't know, man. I don't know.
See, so okay,
I'm still not sold.
no, I get it. I mean, but when you're going up against the likes of Captain Marvel, I get it.
But
I get it.
But dude, what would sell you? Because go ahead.
If they, so to me, if they kind of like go maybe the route of Ant-Man a little bit and do like the espionage stuff and make it like hardcore spy stuff, but add the action to it, I would probably consider it that way.
I would like it if it was rated R, sort of like a John Wick type
Yep.
setup.
I agree.
Okay.
And you know
Yeah.
what?
They did it like a rated R, like a
And it
female
would have to
John
be
Wick.
rated R then.
Dude,
Huh?
I'm gonna
It
ask
would
you.
have to be rated R.
Absolutely.
So,
have to be rated. I want her to break some skulls. I want her
Dude,
to,
and I see that happening. So here's the real shit, right? So I remember there was a specific Marvel film, and it was an Avengers film, I believe, where they kind of gave us a bit of an intro to
Age of
Black
Ultron.
Widow. You're right, and they
Age of
showed
Ultron,
where
yeah.
like she was in her training
Her
or
past,
whatever.
yep.
That's what
I
I'm
like that. If you give me a film with that kind of origin, I can do that. You see what I'm saying? And then you give me a little. You give me a little teaser with some villain or some situation that cross references, and it will work. I can see that.
I can
It's
see- I know-
boring though. You gotta.
She's not, to me, the way they presented her in Age of Ultron,
Yeah.
she's not boring if you do it right.
Okay.
It
It has to be done right.
It has to be done
It has to be done right.
perfect. It has to be on some Guardians of the Galaxy type shit.
Yeah.
Because initially, let's all be real. When we heard about Guardians of the Galaxy, we kind of raised the eyebrow, like, why would Marvel do this right now? You have Avengers, you have everything going right for you. Why would you take a chance and do this entire genre? But now, after we saw the first one, we said, oh shit, they got a plan.
Yeah.
They're tying this all together. So Marvel is so strategic right now. I guarantee if they're gonna do something where Black Widow has her own origin film, it's gonna have some kind of relevancy to bring things full
It
circle.
will.
So if they use it as the catapult to bring A-Force together,
man.
and to let listeners know, A-Force is basically the all-female led Avengers,
Wow.
so to speak. Now, if that's a stepping stone to A-Force, I'm in.
Well, people are for it. People want it. People want it, especially if Captain Marvel does very well.
Yeah.
I mean, the catalyst is Captain Marvel, which we
You're
know
right.
that Captain Marvel.
It can't not do it.
Well, we know that she's the most powerful Avenger. She's the most powerful person in the MCU. Well, just from the MCU. But if she does well, which she will, it's going to pave the way. And we already know that the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige have said that at the end of Phase 4, majority of the films are going to be focused more on women.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And Captain Marvel's going to be around for a while. I mean, it's.
Yo, did y'all hear that Wonder Woman 2 is getting pushed back?
No.
Yeah, man. I saw that like a couple of days ago.
I mean, it makes sense. I
That
get
means
it.
they're making adjustments. You know?
Well, either that they're pushing it back either for publicity or reshoots. Just like Shazam, they have 3 weeks of reshoots in Toronto right now.
Yeah.
So there's Captain Marvel, and then there's the Indian. I guess you could say
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel.
Kamala Khan.
So apparently they are going to be bringing Miss Marvel.
Yes, they are.
Priyanka Chopra needs to play.
Well, no, they've already casted.
Who? It needs to be Priyanka. It's got that woman.
Is that a girl from Quantico?
Quantico. It is from Quantico.
Nick Jonas, right?
Nick Jonas.
Nick Jonas. Yeah.
That's a bad woman, bro.
Yeah.
I can't picture her, but
That's a
one of my
bad
homeboys
woman.
used to always
Audience
talk
out there,
about
y'all need to check
It's
out
Miss
Priyanka.
Marvel. It's not.
Yeah, it's Miss Marvel.
It's Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Priyanka's, yes, sir.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah, that's her right there. Yep.
Yeah, because I heard them talking about that. I guess they haven't gotten that far.
But Miss Marvel, well, I was gonna say she's a what's Black Bolt in them? Inhuman.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, Captain Marvel is an Inhuman. Technically.
Okay.
But see, the smartest. So, what makes Captain Marvel's story so awesome and so relevant is that it ties the Kree and the Skrulls, into everything. And the coolest thing. Now, here's where Marvel is gonna fuck with us, and I can put money on this. Some way, we're gonna find out that some Avengers 1 or Avengers 2 is a Skrull, and it's gonna give us an entire twist on everything.
But I think
guarantee it.
I agree with you. But in some way, it's gonna lead into how they right the wrongs with what Thanos did as well too.
True, but what I would like them,
and then we have now we got an anti-hero.
Right.
Now we got a situation where we like, damn.
But what I want them to do is the person who actually takes down Thanos. I want it to be shit. His name just left my mind.
Adam?
No, not Adam. Oh my God, Dave Bautista plays him.
Drax.
Drax.
Yeah.
Because
he was
meant
to kill
kill
Thanos.
Thanos.
But here's the thing, and this is in my alternate world in my mind. I don't think Thanos is gonna die.
I don't think so either.
I think Thanos is gonna live in some alternate universe, and they'll probably. I think they gave homage to the whole him retiring on a farm in the last Infinity War and the way that ended, and how he was like, he looked battered and bruised, and he was just chilling.
Did you see what before the scene ended when he was about to sit down? Did you see what was in the farm in the field?
No.
His suit is a scarecrow in the field.
Oh yeah.
Y'all stop.
I did see that.
So I have a confession
right.
to make. I bought, and I think I told you this.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I bought Infinity War, and I got the fucking 4K Blu-ray. All this. I ain't even watched it.
Oh, wow. I got it ready to go.
But and I was gonna bring it over. I completely forgot.
I got it ready to go. It's on the laptop.
So you got to show me that.
I'll
scene.
stream it right. It's like within 2 seconds.
It's a glimpse.
It's a glimpse.
It's
a scarecrow.
But that is so satisfying as a fan because it's like, damn, that's what we want. So we already know what that's telling us is that they're not gonna go that route with this new one. So, but what Kevin Feige did come out and say, or the Russo brothers, I believe, kind of tailored in on this, is they said that Thanos' left arm, because of the whole gauntlet and using all the stones and everything he did, is not going to be as useful.
I disagree.
As it was. No, he said that. They said that.
But the thing is that he's having a dual wielding sword, or he's got a sword that's got 2 blades on it. He has to be able to hold with both hands. But I disagree because if you look in the video, if you go back and watch, before he disappeared, he used the time stone to reverse his wound.
His body. Oh yeah.
But they came. Only reason I'm saying what I'm saying is because I read somewhere that they said that that arm is not going to be as useful as
Someone has to right some wrongs.
Yeah, somebody. Yeah, that would. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But if he's able to reverse his wounds before he leaves, he would absolutely be able to do it. Because he uses his left hand when he reverses time just before he leaves Thor.
right.
So why would he not do that for his hand? That doesn't make any sense.
Right, but there could be some kind of implications to the gauntlet. Okay, so all right, so when he used it to get rid of half of the world or half of the universe, right? There has to be some implication that affected him negatively.
You mean the cost?
Yes,
There's
there's
a
a
cost.
cost.
So
and not just the cost of half of the Black Order dying,
or
whatever,
him killing
or him
Gamora.
yeah, there's more of a cost.
But
There's a self cost that you have to deal with when you do that.
But the thing is,
So-
but his purpose though, he fulfilled his purpose.
Not
though.
necessarily. Based on, and you guys, I send y'all shit every day.
Yeah.
So there was a breakdown that showed exactly how the trailer is going to be. And in the trailer,
Yeah,
it
I read
says, he specifically says that my destiny has not been fulfilled. And I don't know why he says that. Maybe because he knows the Avengers are plotting on some alternative reality to fix things.
But keep in mind, part of his destiny is it's 3 ways. So the first thing is that he has to kill half the universe. He has to get the power gems, right? The Infinity Stones. He's got to do that. The second thing is why he's doing it, right? In the comic books, the reason he's doing it is to satisfy death.
But we know they're not.
Which they're not going to do that. And
Yeah.
the third thing is that if he's not able to satisfy death, then his ultimate purpose is to fulfill his purpose itself and then die. And in order for his action to be purposeful and to have meaning, he himself must die. He must find his opponent. Like everybody, Ryu does the same thing. Ryu travels the world, beating all those opponents until he finds the person that can defeat him himself. That's when you have a purpose. Your purpose is not true. Once you achieve your purpose, it means nothing until you die, until you become a martyr. That's what I'm saying. He has to die.
I don't think he will.
So it's either going to be Adam, it's going to be Drax, it'll either be Tony. I don't even think it's going to be Captain Marvel. I think Captain Marvel will weaken him. Like they don't have the rights to Galactus.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
They do?
Yeah, the Fox deal is done.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. No, I thought Fox kept Galactus.
Nah, man.
So what'll be true?
They got the Fantastic Four.
Right.
They got X-Men and Fantastic Four. Galactus goes with Fantastic Four.
Right,
So they got
but
that.
Silver Surfer is the herald of Galactus. Did they get Silver Surfer too?
Yeah, they got Silver Surfer.
Oh shit!
Yeah, man.
So
Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. I stand corrected.
Yeah, man.
So,
Never mind.
So here's the thing. In my opinion, the way they could do this with the next Avengers 4 is bring Galactus into the picture, right? And so potentially his job is to basically kind of I guess you could say secure the universe and ensure that shit's done the way it's supposed to be done. And so if he I don't see him killing Thanos, but like banishing him to some alternate reality.
The only reason though, okay, so I can see your point. And I think the reasoning though is that because Thanos, of course, we know he's the world eater. He eats worlds. And so the fact that you
mean Galactus?
Galactus, sorry, my bad. Yeah, Galactus eats worlds, and the fact that Thanos killed off half of the universe.
He's helping him out.
No, he's not helping him out. That means
Galactus needs
that's
life.
less.
Oh, I see
that's
what you're saying.
less.
So basically, I got you.
Yeah, that's less worlds for me to eat.
So he's like, what are you doing? You're messing with me, so I need to get rid of
Exactly.
you.
Well, hold on.
Did you catch me?
Yeah,
You
Galactus
caught me.
technically doesn't need lives. He just needs resources.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not about who lives on the planet. It's about the planet itself.
It's
But guess
Okay.
what? We also found out, and this is where the plot thickens, and this is why I said the Feige and the Russo brothers are trolling the shit out of us because they know we are nerds. We know this shit. We dig deep. So they came out and said that when Thanos did the snap, not only did it affect human and mutant life, it also affected all realms of life. So plants,
Well,
birds.
oh, okay. Well,
all of that.
I thought when you meant realm, it meant other universes. It just affected our universe, but those who live within the universe itself.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, the only thing that I will say is this: to counteract what you're saying, the one person that we're not taking into consideration that has been in every single Marvel film is Stan Lee. In the comic books, who is Stan Lee?
He's the
whatever it's called.
the one above all.
Yeah,
The one above all.
One
Yeah.
above all.
And he's the only one who's able to be everywhere.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is that the one above all is an observer from a distance, right? He's basically God.
Okay.
Okay. Now the one above all created the Tablet of Life. You guys can go look at the Tablet of Life. The Tablet of Life is basically a written code that Captain America, everyone has a purpose because of the Tablet of Life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can't fulfill the purpose if people are dead. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is that Stan Lee's going to step in as the one above all at the very end. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
Of this film, this coming up film.
No, not necessarily this film. I'm thinking at the end of Phase 4. Now the only problem is that
That's just too easy.
They're running out of time.
no, but the thing is with technology now they can find somebody to play Stan Lee.
Shout out to Stanley. I'm
I mean, he literally has.
He's up there.
He's done. He's about 92 right now.
Yeah.
So, but that's the only thing that makes sense to me is that I think his relevance in the movies is going to make itself known.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually can agree with that. Now I'm really starting to really think about everything. So we know about the reshoots for Avengers 4, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but
So
they're doing them.
hold on. And we know about Stan Lee's recent decline in health,
Yes.
mentally and physically.
Yes.
Okay, so it's just interesting to me that as soon as Infinity War ends, we start hearing about reshoots for Avengers 4.
Yep.
Right? With conjunction in the news of Stan Lee's current health condition.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. That if they did that, that would really kind of change things. But we also know the Russo brothers, they know people like us sit around and talk about shit like this all day.
Yeah.
And so and I think to that point as well too, if they utilize him, that's a good way to bring mutants back. Or not bring them back, but introduce them into this current world.
It would
This
be.
current universe.
It would be. Absolutely.
And
Real
we're
quick,
out of
guys.
time.
It is 8:02.
Yo.
I think we're gonna wrap it up. For now, we hate to say bye,
Yeah.
but y'all have been with us for 2 hours. You've taken time out of your evening to show us some love and support us and opening up our new season.
Yes.
But we had a great conversation today. We want to say thank you guys for joining us.
Appreciate it. Really.
Appreciate the love. Thank you for those who partook and asked us our questions and engaged in conversation with us. Shout out to producer Chris today.
Yo, producer Chris.
Shout out to the homie Ryan for coming through and
Yo,
spending some time with us.
Preach.
Ryan
Ryan Carter in the house.
As always, where can they find us? Brother?
Yo, y'all can find us at our website for Millennials. That's the word foreign, but the number 4, IN Millennials. You can also find us on IG, on Facebook. You can find me personally on Twitter and Instagram. My name is Duchala. That's DUCHALLA. Where can they find you, Pop?
They can find me, Pablo, the Canadian. That's PABLODUH, Canadian, in case you can't spell. On Instagram. I do have a personal account on Facebook, but I'd rather you come to me on Instagram. It just works out better that way. Pablo at formillennials.com as well. As always, we have a word around here that we truly enjoy saying.
It's an S word, and it's not shit. Subscribe.
Y'all gotta go subscribe. Please do. Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes. There's a like button, there's a love button, there's a follow button. Whatever you want to do, there's a subscribe button, which is our favorite word. Hit that button. You can get updates on what we're doing for the new season. We always encourage our audience. Tell us what you think. Give us your feedback. If you have questions, if you have ideas for shows, whatever you guys have cooking, let us know. We want to engage with you. But as always, we really appreciate the love. Thank you guys so much. We'll holler at you guys soon.
Peace.
Cool.
Well done, gentlemen.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, so now I gotta stand up.